Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern college football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next three. Bake is back. His back is back after all the golf, so we'll get a little update on that as the program goes along. Loaded up for you, 9:30, Julian Sayin on the quarterback competition. You're going to hear what the presumptive starting quarterback at Ohio State has to say about that, how his summer has been. We'll hit the real truth coming up at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Uncle Dom will drop by as is customary, 11 o'clock. Two-a-days, we conclude in the NFC West with the 49ers and the Seahawks. The college football coaches poll came out yesterday. I love these. I love them. Are they absurd? Yeah, they're absurd. But much of college football is. Think about the conversations we have about this sport. So much of it is absurd. Why stop here? I was curious why they started doing this, and the answer to it is kind of like what you thought, right? Threw this into the AI-generated answer machine that we have now on our laptop, and I had this. This is the answer that I was sput out. The question I asked to Google is, why did they start doing preseason college football polls? The answer is as follows. Preseason college football polls begin as a way to generate fan interest and excitement before the season starts, providing a snapshot of perceived team strengths and sparking discussion and debate. They also serve as a historical record of expectations for each season. There's even a more detailed explanation in terms of generating fan interest. Preseason polls are a way to engage fans early in the season, building anticipation for upcoming games, creating a buzz around their favorite teams. The polls provide a baseline for how teams are expected to perform, influencing how fans perceive their chances and fueling discussion about potential contenders and upsets. There's also a historical record that matters a little bit on this, and this part I think is pretty interesting. The preseason polls are widely covered by sports media, including us, parenthetically, further amplifying their impact and creating a narrative around the upcoming season. The one thing that is absolute about the preseason polls is that if you were a czar of college football, you would not have them. You would not have them. We do have them. I love them. And they matter incredibly. They matter absolutely. They set the tone for the way we talk about these teams all season long. An example of this is the number one versus number two, which is going to happen for the first time ever. What do we know for sure about Ohio State and Texas that are number one and number two in the poll? We know they're both very talented. But both of these teams have massive question marks. Massive. You are betting on, at Texas, that Sark has recruited to a level and that Arch Manning will be what most people perceive him to be. At Ohio State, you are betting on all of that loss of leadership and talent, all that NFL drafted talent being replaced because that's what Ohio State does, and that's what Ryan Day does. And you're betting on Julian Sayin or Lincoln Kienholz being very little in terms of drop-off from Will Howard. That's the bet. But we have a million questions about those teams, and they are number one and number two in the preseason coaches poll. Whichever team loses that game, I don't think we'll drop lower than 8 at most. And if it's a close game, they might only drop to 5. And then what does that do? That sets them up for success down the road. The College Football Playoff Committee is supposed to ignore everything that happens before their inaugural poll drops. But they're humans. And humans are flawed. And humans are subjective. And humans are shaped by the information at their disposal. And in this instance, the information at their disposal is a combination of what they see with their own eyes, but also a combination of the AP and college football coaches' polls. And they it says it right here in the AI, and this is 100% right. They provide a baseline of how teams are expected to perform, influencing fan perceives their chances and fueling discussion about potential contenders. It also influences the way the College Football Playoff Committee puts out their first poll. How many differences are there when the first College Football Playoff poll comes out compared to the AP or the College Football Coaches poll? Very minimal. Usually somebody's a little higher, 2 spots higher here, 2 spots lower there. That's it. Not much. Pretty similar. We take it, and then we run with it, and we use it as a jumping off point for the entire season. So, yeah, in an ideal world, you wouldn't put these out, and you'd let us watch football, and we'd be able to kind of judge who we think looks best in an ideal world. But there's nothing ideal about college football. It's a beautiful mess, and this only adds to it. But also don't make the mistake of saying these don't matter, because they matter absolutely. They set up the way that we judge these teams. They set up the way that we view these teams. And if you start high, if you lose, you only drop so far. It gives you a margin for error. It allows for Ohio State, Texas, Clemson, and LSU who play week 1. It allows for those teams to have a stumble and not be gone. And that matters in the biggest way possible. So should they be doing them right now? In an ideal world, probably not. Am I glad they do them? Absolutely, I'm glad they do them. They're fun to talk about. I love setting the baseline and the expectations of what a season is. But do not make the mistake that they don't matter, because they matter absolutely. And they set the tone for how these teams are perceived, not just by us, not just by you, but by the College Football Playoff Committee, and that is inarguable.
My gripe with the coaches' preseason top 25, and I'll have a similar gripe with the AP preseason top 25 out next Monday, is they do it after noon. Noon Eastern time is not what I want to have that kind of a poll come out, or those kinds of polls come out, because it's after we get off the air. So I got to, sit and stew about it for 12 hours?
Yeah, that's right.
That's not something I'm interested in. Check out those 14 coaches that say Penn State's the top team in the country, or the 3 that say Georgia, or the 2 that say Clemson.
Yeah.
That's what this provides us. So it's a wonderful thing, but it's also a completely useless thing.
Oh, I disagree.
But we need it, right?
Yeah, it maybe should be useless, Reese.
It's all of what makes college football wacky and wonderful.
So, Bo, I'm going to touch on something you said first, because it reminded me of something that I heard last night. But as you were going on there, I thought of a team like Oklahoma, who's 24 in this. Mm-hmm. Who had a down year last year, but chances are they're going to bounce back. If they lose Red River, they may not be able to recover because of where they're ranked preseason. But as we mentioned, Ohio State playing Texas right out of the gate, they're ranked number 2. If Ohio State loses, they're going to be fine. You were talking about this Ohio State team and, what we think we know. I was listening to the Buckeye Show last night driving home. And Austin Ward, and this is just, I heard this and I immediately well, we don't. He was talking about, and he used the example of Ethan Onyeonwa. Okay. Just a player who's played a lot of football, but this is his first time at Ohio State. And he was talking about how these first few days of Ohio State practice were really inconsistent, especially compared to the last couple of years, because you have so many newcomers and inexperienced guys on the field. And he was talking about Onyeonwa and how in one-on-one drills he was dominant and looked like a surefire first-round tackle. And then you get in team drills, and he gets bull rushed by Caden Curry. And then he goes up against C.J. Hicks, and he ends up on the ground. And you're like, well, wait a second. This doesn't look like what we just saw. And he was just talking about the inconsistencies, and he was talking about, we know these things are going to get fixed. Well, no, we don't know, right? Like we think because of the talent that is on this roster, and we think because of how good the coaching staff is here at Ohio State, but we really don't know. Like, we have Ohio State number 2 based on this great amount of physical talent that this team has. But there are so many question marks for a team like this Buckeye roster, and not just this Buckeye roster, but Texas.
They all do.
In Georgia, in Alabama. Like, there's very
Notre
few
Dame
teams.
is fifth in the country, Bake. They're starting
A
Carr.
freshman. And
We've never even seen him play.
Michigan's 14th in this thing.
You have
Like,
no idea what they're going to be.
There are so few teams. Like, you've got Penn State and Clemson and maybe LSU and a team like Illinois, but there's not a lot of teams like those teams that have so much production back where maybe you don't have a lot of questions. That's what I think the lead up to this college football season makes it so fascinating.
Notre Dame's a great example. Notre Dame is starting fifth in the country. Now, they have the best running back, and probably the best backfield in the country. They have a lot of returning guys. They added some weapons on the outside, but it's brand new at quarterback. It's brand new. And a lot of them starting five is based on how they finished last year. A lot of it is. But you don't know if C.J. Carr can play. I don't know. We have no idea if he can play or not. But guess who they play week 1? Miami. And let's say they go to South Florida and they lose a close game. Where are they going to drop? 8, 9, 10, 11 at most. And that happens, they start winning again. They're right back up. These things matter. They matter in a big way. It does beg the question, though, who should have been preseason number 1? Who should be? We'll get to that. We'll give you the week that will be for Ohio State camp as well, as practice number 6 continues today. This is the true training camp part. This when they go on the road, put them into the hotel, and a full week. And by the end of this week, you should have a pretty good idea of where you stand with this team in terms of quarterback, absolutely. Plus a big injury potentially at Texas. We'll have all of that for you next. We're off and running on a Tuesday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Who go to geteco.com.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo, and my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Dad, let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep-making-plans.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward, and I'm coming up on 2 full years since starting Awaken 180. Dropped 50 pounds, and I still check the scale like it owes me money. Guess what? Hasn't budged. Still under 200 pounds, still feeling great. Keeping weight off this long isn't luck or magic, it's just having the right playbook. Awaken 180 taught me exactly what works, what doesn't, and how to stay lean without the struggle. Want real, lasting results? Don't just drop the weight, retire it for good. Trust me, Awaken 180 is your winning game plan. Awaken180weightloss.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit oda.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see a mostly sunny day ahead. Humidity is pretty comfortable compared to what we've been dealing with. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s, and we could see some stray showers and storms, although they will be more isolated and few and far between. Partly cloudy skies tonight and lows down into the 60s, and then for Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and highs in the mid to upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, here's your week that will be at Ohio State. The Buckeyes moved into the team hotel in Grandview last night, and then they will practice all week. This is the training camp version. They move into the hotel, and they put in a lot of work. They kind of think of the open practices as kind of a soft launch, although it didn't look like it at times as they really played the hits. But the work done this week is going to go a long ways to determine who's in the mix when they play the Longhorns in the game coming up at the end of the month. The schedule is as follows. In terms of availability, Ryan Day will speak today after practice, Billy Fessler, and the quarterback. So all of those will talk on the indoor field today after practice. Then Wednesday, Threes and his linebackers will talk. Thursday, Big Ten Network Fall Camp Tour is set for Thursday. So usually that means there's some pretty good availability for the local media as well. So that'll be on Thursday. Then on Friday, Carlos Laughlin and the running backs. And then Saturday, practice number 9. That's likely going to be your Ohio Stadium scrimmage. So kind of circle that as like they'll know then kind of the way this is going to go. Speaking of Texas, it was reported on Monday that Texas sophomore right tackle Andre Kojo suffered a season-ending knee injury on Monday per multiple reports. Played in 4 games in 2024 for Texas. Saw action early in the season. He was competing with Brandon Baker to start at right tackle for the Longhorns. Something to pay attention to there in terms of injuries that happened during camp. If you guys were voting in the preseason coaches or Associated Press poll, who would you have number 1?
Texas.
So I think it would have been close with me, but I think you guys know that I'm huge on Clemson this year. And the deciding factor between Clemson and Penn State to me would have been I have more faith in Klubnik and Dabo than I do Aller and Franklin. So I personally would have Clemson number 1 heading into the season.
No, I'd have had Ohio State. No, I'd have had Clemson. I don't know.
You're flip-flopping
I have no idea, man. I'm glad I don't have a vote on this. And the coaches probably don't vote on this either. They probably just hand it off to somebody and say, just fill this out.
Have the SID do it. So, and I say this acknowledging that one of the first, probably the first viral video that we did with Little Bootsy, this was, I want to say, this is either in the COVID year or it might have been 19, I can't remember, was Bootsy going, I hate Trevor Lawrence. I think I would have had Clemson 1. I think I would have Clemson number 1. I think the combination of their schedule and their returning talent, not just Klubnik, but They got 4 or 5 first-round picks on that roster. Their defensive line is really good. They're just really set up, and the schedule's set up for it as well. They get LSU right out of the gates. And I would probably view it the way more similarly to the way you did, Bake, in terms of who's got returning quarterbacks, who's got returning talent. If you're going – now, Texas is an interesting one because we have seen Arch play. We've seen him. He started 3 games. It was against one of the was it Louisiana Lafayette or Louisiana? I can't remember which Louisiana team he played. And then he played against Mississippi State, and we saw him thrust in the Georgia game. And so I think Texas makes sense as a number one from the standpoint of the talent that they have, and it's a pretty safe bet that Arch will be at worst equivalent to what Quinn was. Last year. At worst, he'll be that good. He's more mobile, got a bigger arm. So, but at worst, he'll be what Quinn was. And that team played in the national semifinal and made it all the way to the national semifinal in back-to-back years. So, the talent's there, and there's a little bit of faith. The Ohio State pick as a number one team and the 20 coaches that voted for them, that's the Ric Flair. That's Ric Flair. That's to be the man, you got to beat the man. But we have a lot of questions. We have big questions. We've seen far less of Julian or Lincoln than we've seen of Arch. I mean, we've never seen them take reps that really matter. We saw Lincoln kind of take reps that matter when he was – that was quarterback malpractice, what they did to him in the Cotton Bowl a couple years ago. But we haven't seen the
worst O-line ever.
Yeah, that was it's hard to believe that game actually happened, quite honestly, or that he was that ill-prepared for it. That was wild what we witnessed. That being said – the Ohio State questions are much more than Texas's. What we know about the Buckeyes is how talented they are and that they have the 2 best players in college football. But there's questions everywhere else. I think the running back questions are very real. Not to say that the talent isn't there. We just haven't seen it produce. And same at quarterback. So I think for me, I would probably lean Clemson 1, and then I would probably go Texas 2, and then Ohio State probably 3. The thing with Penn State, because Penn State they really should be. It's just a matter of I just don't trust James Franklin. I don't. And I think Penn State is getting a ton of love, much of it deserved, some of it not, based on the fact that they played in a national semifinal last season. But the reality is, if you look at Penn State in 2024, give me the list of quality wins. I'll wait. SMU on a frozen tundra? Really?
That's it.
What is it? So, then they get Boise State?
Yeah.
They got SMU and then they got Boise State. That was their path. That's how stupid the college football playoff was last year, where they awarded Boise State a bye.
I feel like, and listen, I'm not saying, because I don't think that this Penn State roster this year is quite as talented as the Ohio State roster was last year. And I do think, even though there were questions, Ryan Day is and had a better resume heading into last year than James Franklin. But, man, there sure seems to be a lot of similarities between Penn State this year and Ohio State last year. A lot of guys came back instead of going to the NFL. A pretty darn talented roster, an experienced quarterback, and a coach with questions if he could win the big one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's no question that all of that is true. And you missed yesterday's show, Bake, but one of the big themes of, we kind of wrapped up 20 most interesting programs, and one of the things that we kind of hit on was kind of the theme of it was, if not now, when? That's kind of the theme of it. And you look at college football in 2025, that's kind of the theme of it. If not now, when, Penn State? If not now, will it ever again, Clemson? I don't know if Dabo's ever going to have it this lined up again.
It's pretty good.
No.
To have a 4-year starting quarterback, Klubnik started there for 4 years. And all these guys returning. He's not aggressive. He's not recruiting the way that he was when Lawrence and those guys were there. He's not at that level from a recruiting standpoint. They're not that active in the portal. They're better. They're getting better at it. But is he going to be in this mix again? If not now, when? There's a lot of them that feel that way, that it's kind of all set up for them, and you got to go. Think about LSU. If Brian Kelly's ever going to win an opener, by God, if not now, when? And they play Clemson. out of the gates. That's a great game.
That's an
week
awesome
1.
game.
It's a great game week 1. So, yeah, if not now, when is kind of the theme of it. All right, I'll give you got 60 seconds. Bake on Reds, Reese on guards.
They beat the Cubs. It's always nice to beat the Cubs. Lodolo left with a blister. He always has blisters. I don't know. I'm kind of apathetic on the Reds right now.
Why?
Same.
I'm not sure they're going to get there.
5 games above 500, brother.
Yeah, but I just don't know. They're not getting closer in that wild card.
I don't know what to make of the Cleveland frickin' Guardians, man. They beat the Mets last night in extras. Like, part of me, as that game's going to extras, I'm like, I hate this damn rule, putting the runner on second. But then the Guardians would. I'm like, I love this damn rule. Putting a runner
It is a terrible rule.
It's so
I hate
stupid.
it.
Pretty wild.
But the Guardians are going to, they're going to have, the Guardians might have to ride and make a wild card.
Yeah.
They might.
Yeah.
CJ Kafis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they brought somebody up and he performed for them.
There you go.
Incredible world.
There you go.
Speaking of the minors, Sharks throwing out the first pitch of the Clippers game tonight. That's important.
Let's go.
Can't wait to go see that.
Dime a Dog featuring Mark the Shark. Or Mark the Shark Night featuring Dime a Dog.
Can't wait to be there.
God, that's so great. That's so great. What he's meant to this town and baseball, especially, his baseball passion. I mean, it's just awesome. Very good stuff. Very cool. Get out there and make sure it's loud for the great Shark. All right, coming up in 2 minutes, Julian Sayin. He's supposed to speak today. Turns out he already did to a Herb Street. We'll explain all of it. You'll hear from him coming up next in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and I want to talk to you about the roof over your head. You know that thing that protects your house and everything in it? It's pretty important, and a lot of you are going to have to replace it soon, but be warned. There are companies out there that skip over the biggest part of the process, the attic ventilation. You see, if that attic doesn't have proper circulation, it can cause problems such as mold and rot. You got rot, and not to mention leaks in the wintertime and higher AC bills in the summer. This is one of the reasons I'm telling you about my guys at Victor's Home Solutions. They start with a free 21-point roof inspection, including a thorough inspection of that attic as well. They know that if that ventilation isn't right, that roof's going to be built on a shaky foundation. That's why every Victor's roof comes with a well-thought-out attic ventilation plan, and that's why they can offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. Money-saving discounts and financing incentives are also available. Call for your free 21-point roof inspection and get that estimate today. 866-VICTORS or go to victors.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Tuesday edition of the program. Today after practice, Ryan Day is going to talk, and the quarterbacks are going to talk. This was last week, though, on 3 with a new podcast called Off Script, hosted by Zach Herbstreit, former Buckeye, and, of course, son of Kirk. And this was not lost on me. I thank the folks at 11 Warriors in the Skull Session for making me aware of it. But he got Julian Sayin. Now, he was a teammate of Julian last year at Ohio State. Zach was on the team last year and knew Julian a little bit. The first interview that he did for the new podcast was Sayin, and that tells you a little bit about how all of this stuff is potentially going to shake out. So it's a longer interview, lots to get to here. Let's start with Julian on how he has developed physically this summer.
Yeah, definitely got a little bit bigger this summer, put on a few pounds and, got faster and stronger. And, Coach Mick obviously does a great job with us, and he pushes us to a level that, we're definitely improving. And I saw a lot of improvement this summer in all my metrics. And, I think as a team, we all got better.
The one thing with Julian that is going to be pretty critical is the leadership component of it. When you're following somebody like Will Howard, who was just leadership in buckets, there's going to be an adjustment period. So let's start with Julian on his ability to be a better leader and the effort he's putting into that.
Yeah, being on the leadership committee, it was definitely good. Just be able to grow as a leader, and grow with your teammates, and just step into that leadership role. Kind of figure out, get your feet wet, and see how it is being a leader, and taking tips from other leaders. We have some guys who played a lot of ball last year, like Sonny, Caleb Downs, and just seeing the way they lead, and taking tips from them and trying to lead in your own way.
Yeah, the big thing you got to do with leadership is you've got to be authentic. So we've seen that with Jeremiah Smith, right? He's not a big rah-rah guy. He's a big watch me work, and then you follow along. And it just really depends on the type of player. Not everybody can be. JT Barrett is one of the best leaders you're ever going to find. Like, he was very comfortable being very vocal in those rooms, in the locker rooms, in the pre-games and the post-games. He's very vocal doing that. Braxton was not as vocal, but people still followed. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. The key is to just be authentic to who you are. One thing that Julian is going to benefit from is that he's following in the footsteps of Will. And that's a very big deal there because he got a firsthand look at how Will led. So let's hear from him on what he learned from Will.
Learning from Will, just learned how to be a leader. He was a great leader for the offense and for the team. And, I think that was definitely something that I tried to learn from him. And then, learning from Coach Day and Coach Kelly, just more about the game, more about ball, and how to go through my reads and, how to look at the game as a quarterback. And definitely learned a lot also from Will, just learned about the preparation aspect and, how much preparation goes into each week.
Here, one other thing before we get to kind of a bigger discussion on Julian and trying to win this job and what it could look like, because I think it's absolutely a choice that's going to be made because, as I've said really since last week, you're going to choose a style of play too with whichever one of these quarterbacks you choose. Remember, though, Julian, his first choice was not here. His first choice was to go play for Nick Saban at Alabama. That flipped when Saban retires. By the way, I mean, nobody in the planet benefited more from Nick Saban retiring than Ohio State. Seth McLaughlin, Caleb Downs, and Julian Sayin, all of them. Here is Julian on why he chose the Buckeyes.
Well, when I ended up going to Alabama, I wanted to go play for Coach Saban. And when he retired, I decided to transfer, and Ohio State was just a big decision for me, and I was excited to make it just because the quarterback development history they've had with Coach Day, and the guys like Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud come before. They've done a great job with quarterbacks, and then just the talent they have at the offensive skill positions. It was definitely a great decision for me, and I couldn't be happier.
I think that part is something we maybe gloss over a little bit with him. I imagine that hardened him. He was at Alabama. He was physically in Tuscaloosa. He went through the entire process. He graduated early. He enrolled early to be Saban's last quarterback. I mean, that was pretty much known that he was going to be Saban's last quarterback. Everybody kind of knew it, that he'd sit behind Milroe for a year, then he'd start for 3, and that'd be the end of it. I mean, that's what most people thought Saban's trajectory would be. And then Nick kind of abruptly left, and all of a sudden, you're a 5-star number 1 quarterback in the country from Carlsbad, California. You're living in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Your quarterback leaves. A new coach comes in, Kalen DeBoer. You don't know him. You probably weren't in the recruiting process with Washington at all, so there's probably very little familiarity with Kalen DeBoer. And all of a sudden, you're like, wow, where do I go now? I mean, that's a lot on a kid who should be a senior in high school. So I think that sometimes we forget that in terms of adversity, he's already faced a pretty good amount of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a punch in the face as a senior in high school, should be a senior in high school, to be relocated across the country. Folks, I've been to both Tuscaloosa and Carlsbad. There ain't much in common. There ain't much. So, I mean, that's a culture shock as big as it gets. And all of a sudden, you're starting to get your feet wet, and then you're gone. You're gone, and you got to find a new place. And you come to Ohio State in this incredibly crowded quarterback room, and in short order, you kind of elevate to the guy behind the guy. I mean, that happened pretty quickly. So I think some credit is deserved to him for the way that he elevated so quickly here, because that could have really derailed his entire career, fellas.
I think it does show just with recruiting out of high school, and especially now with the transfer portal, you keep and maintain the relationships that you make on the recruiting trail. Like, you never want to burn any kinds of bridges. Point. Because if you look, with what Julian Sayin did in his recruiting, it was very close with Ohio State and with Alabama. Obviously, he chose Nick Saban from everything that you just mentioned. But once that kind of falls apart, then he goes back to those relationships that he made with the coaches at Ohio State. And, of course, as you hear him talk about the track record that Ryan Day has got with quarterbacks, it made only the most sense in the world. Now, he was able to win a national championship in his very first year playing college football, some that few get to say that they got the chance to do. And now he's one of, if not the presumptive starter in what's being billed as the biggest college football opening game ever. Like, life comes at you very fast in college sports.
You bet it does.
It's interesting when I hear that answer from Julian. It got me thinking 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, does this quarterback say, yeah, look at their track record of developing quarterbacks. I want to come to Ohio State. And it might be the greatest thing that Ryan Day has done or brought to the Ohio State football program is the trajectory of the quarterback now at Ohio State. There's not been in the history of Ohio State football a ton of quarterbacks that have gone on to the NFL and played in the NFL from Ohio State. But since Ryan Day has been there, you've had, even though he didn't really play here, he was kind of developed here a little bit. Joe Burrow, Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud. I mean, it's Will Howard now with the Steelers, and it sounds like Will's having a great camp over there. Mm-hmm. The quarterback position at Ohio State has totally changed since Ryan Day was brought on by Urban Meyer to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you became a program that was known for and does develop NFL quarterbacks. I said a few years ago when Threes and I were doing the show, like, we're not entitled to this at Ohio State. That's not what it is. You don't get pro quarterbacks every year. Like, that's not what we've done historically at all. And you just rattled off. I mean, like, just look at that. When you say that out loud, you think about how attractive. And by the way, the same could have been said for Saban at Alabama. Alabama's no quarterback hotbed historically. You got to go way back, Stabler and Namath and all of that. But they had an incredible gulf where they didn't have any. None. And then that flipped too. So all of these programs have adapted, and Ohio State has benefited the most from it. And we're going to benefit from, we've already benefited by the style of offensive football that we play around here. And I think most people believe Julian's going to win this job. And I am not conspiracy guy, but I am an all the pieces matter guy. And I think that there are enough pieces pointing in that direction that he is going to win that job. I think the ceiling with him is just so damn high. He's so accurate. The arm is so lively. And I think we have an absolute kind of like apples to apples comparison of what it'll look like with CJ. I mean, you have those 2 years with CJ Stroud. The amount of receiving talent that CJ had on those teams is very similar to the amount of receiving talent we have here. We think the offensive line is going to be one of the strengths, and you can spin it all over the place. So it fits kind of what we kind of think this could be. I was impressed with him. I thought he did a hell of a job in much. He was very comfortable in this spot. I mean, he was very comfortable answering Zach's question. So, yeah, it was illuminating, and we'll hear tonight kind of where all of this stands. It's a big week for both of those guys. Massive week. I think by the end of Saturday's practice, you're going to have a very good feeling. I don't know if Ryan's going to announce anything. I don't expect him to. My hunch is it goes into the next week a little bit. But I would bet by the end of Saturday, Ryan knows who's going to be the starting quarterback at Ohio State, Reese.
Because I think after Saturday, especially if it's at Ohio Stadium, the team's going to know.
Yeah.
The guys in the locker room, if they don't know already, that will be probably the inflection point where they make their decision.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Speaking of quarterbacks, the Cleveland Browns added another one? Say what? We'll get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days, deferred payment, interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit, expires 8/31.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
We're rebranding our AM station, and the first order of business is bringing back the and Show. It's been gone for 15 years. All the fun starts Tuesday, September 2nd on the yet-to-be-named 1460 The Fans HD2.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to gnc.com.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Hey, it's your Uncle Bo here, proud to tell you about my friends at Diamond Cellar who know that forever starts with the perfect diamond. For over 78 years, their families help generations of couples celebrate love with brilliance, quality, unbeatable prices. At Diamond Cellar, bigger diamonds, better prices are their promise to you. Whether you're popping the question or upgrading your sparkle, trust the experts at Diamond Cellar because diamonds are their forte. Visit Diamond Cellar today, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center. Learn more at diamondcellar.com. I'm a little nervous. The blonde was in there last Thursday afternoon at the Easton location with my guy Daniel, and I don't know, she was there quite a while. So I know they're going to treat her right, but I mean, she was in there a minute. So this could be a big one for your Uncle Bo here, kids. I'm going to be very honest with you. This signing yesterday that the Browns did, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. This is what we know is fact. They have Kenny Pickett with a hamstring issue. They have Dylan Gabriel with a hamstring issue. And they have Shedeur Sanders limited with arm soreness. Yesterday, they sent out an unofficial depth chart. Now, it's important to know that these unofficial depth charts are done by the team PR people, and these ones are done just for gambling purposes only. So they have to put one out, so everybody does. Don't read anything into it. It really doesn't mean much. It's just basically one that they have to put out. So in that one, they had Joe Flacco 1, Pickett 2, Gabriel 3, and Shedeur Sanders at 4. And that would back up what we've seen through a couple of weeks of camp up in Berea. Here's the part that I was surprised about, the Huntley part and him being signed. So now they have 5 quarterbacks on the rosters. They had a quarterback, Snoop Huntley, Pro Bowler, oddly enough. Yeah, he was. Look it up. He was on the roster last year, didn't end up making it. I can't remember if they released him or traded him. I feel like they released him last year.
They did release him.
Okay. Yeah, so he's familiar. So if this is just making sure as they travel to Charlotte this afternoon, and then we'll have practice Wednesday down in Carolina with the Panthers. If this is just, hey, man, we need another live arm to go, okay, that makes sense. But here's the part that doesn't make sense to me. I was up in Berea yesterday, and all 4 quarterbacks threw. They all threw in team. Joe threw in team, Pickett threw in team, Gabriel threw in team, and Shedeur threw in team. They all threw. So either something happened during that practice, which maybe it did, very possible that it did, that maybe these injuries to Pickett and Gabriel are more significant, or maybe they were, because they participated yesterday in practice, maybe they were worse for wear, and you need to have an extra arm to go down to Carolina. All of those things are possible, I guess. That would make sense to me. But what won't make any sense to me is if Pickett, and more especially Gabriel and Sanders, are upright, I would not want to take any reps from either one of them, ever. To me, and this is me talking, in that preseason game on Friday, I'd give a half to Gabriel and a half to Sanders. I don't need to see anybody else. I don't. If Kenny Pickett's dealing with a hammy, then get all the way healthy and he can get back to competing for the job with Joe the next week. But I mean, I think what you can say, what feels to me absolutely after a couple of weeks, is it'll be Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, which is something I've been telling you guys for months. One of those guys is going to start the opener. I think the wish was for it to be Pickett, but this injury, and he's missed now parts of almost more than a week of practice, will set him back a little bit. So my hunch is it'll be Joe to start. I think that seems fair based on kind of where you are in camp. But beyond that, I want to see the 2 kids get all the reps. And I would think that they would too. So I get the Huntley signing if it's, hey, something happened in practice. We need to have some live arms to practice against Carolina and give them a look. Okay, fine. But if Snoop Huntley plays in the preseason game on Friday, that would be some explaining that needs to happen.
Oh, it'd be awful if you saw Tyler Huntley take any preseason reps, preseason game reps from any of the 4 quarterbacks. I mean, you don't think you see any Joe Flacco at all on Friday, but yeah, the plan of Gabriel and Sanders in that game against the Panthers made all the sense in the world. This struck me as they just need another arm in camp. They want to be, I think, as careful as possible with Pickett, because I do think the further we get into training camp, and you'll see with maybe some Teddy Bridgewater news, that quarterbacks are, they're looking for camp arms. Teams are looking to add quarterback depth to their roster. If you can get Pickett's hamstring less, I guess if you can avoid further injury or further issues with Kenny Pickett, then he becomes, in my mind, a better trade option for later in the preseason, as you do need depth in other areas.
So yesterday, I wasn't really abreast of everything going on. I did see the notification on my phone, though, that Tyler Huntley was signing with the Browns. And I was like, my first initial thought, not looking into it at all, was, oh, man, that doesn't sound very good for Gabriel or Shador. Like, they must not be playing very well in practice. It must not be translating to the field. And then I got home and started looking into it, and you hear, well, Shador missed a day with shoulder soreness. Dylan Gabriel has a hamstring now, and you're like, well, they're just doing this as insurance because they have a game Friday night in case Pickett or Gabriel aren't ready with this hamstring and they don't want to put him out there. They're not going to put Flacco out there, so they've got to have someone to play. I was kind of surprised, and listen, I know it was a Pro Bowler by default, but he played really well in that 6 or 7 game stretch for Baltimore that year. I'm surprised this guy isn't on a roster already, quite frankly, as few quarterbacks as there are in the league. But listen, there's worse things you could do than have a guy that knows your system and wants to stay sharp, and maybe it'll be just something where he can catch on with another team, because I don't think he's going to be here in Cleveland, right?
I wouldn't think. No. I mean, I wouldn't think. I would think the year that he made the Pro Bowl was 2022 was the year he made the Pro Bowl. Do you know how many games he started in 2022, Bake? Without looking?
It wasn't, I don't think it was any more than 6.
It's 4.
Okay. And they were all like the last 4 games of the year, right?
It's one of the craziest. It's because everybody turned down the Pro Bowl. I mean, he's a professional football player, so I don't mean this as any disrespect. It's probably going to come off that way. He started 4 games. He completed 67% of his passes, 658 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, and a rating of 77.2. There just weren't enough. Nobody wanted to play in a Pro Bowl. It's what ended up happening there. So, yeah, if it's camp arms, like stay lively, I get it. But I'll be keeping my eye on that preseason game on Friday night because, to me, I just would want to see Gabriel and Shador do everything. Go ahead, Reese.
Well, you can keep your eyes on it, or your ears. We'll have it for you on ESPN Columbus.
Yeah. So you're out and about on Friday. There you go. You'll be able to listen to Z and Siciliano break it all down on Friday night. All right, second hour of the program coming up next. We kick it off with the real truth. How much will the noon kick hurt the viewing audience for Ohio State, Texas? There is a number that feels like the sweet spot. We'll get to that, among other things, coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
When it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money is always doing something.
Like what?
Like automatically pushing more to savings so you can take that trip.
I like trips.
Who doesn't? It even tracks your progress. You're almost there.
Wow, I better pack.
And it charts your spending so you know which vacation hat you can afford.
How does it know I like hats?
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways. From overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing. I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Colin Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino.
Mikey, it's time for the ultimate fan experience. You could win tickets to the big home team game.
Legal?
Oh, legal.
Oh, illegal.
Legal. Against a team that wears orange on August 30th.
It all goes down Thursday, August 28th from 6 to 7. All you have to do is use your Penn Play card or the Penn Play app during the month of August.
And you can win a bunch of other prizes as well. The more you play, the more opportunities you have to win.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, gambler.
It's your lucky day because at Speedway, there's a $5,000 winner every single day. All you do is shop with Speedy Rewards. Then play the in-app game for a chance to win $5,000 in cash. So you could win $5K today, or the next day, or the next day, or the next... Okay, you get it. New daily cash winners only at Speedway. Are you next? No purchase necessary. Ends 1/6/26 USDC 16 plus. For official rules and free gameplay, go to 5k-a-day.com/rules.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. When we say we want to lose weight, we mean fat, not muscle. New studies show up to 40% of the weight lost on the new meds is muscle, not fat. Keep your muscle. Lose the fat with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
You ever get decision paralysis, like figuring out what to watch or what to eat? Well, the same applies if you're hiring. It can be overwhelming to have too many candidates to sort through. But with ZipRecruiter, you can proactively find the best ones quickly. How? Through their innovative resume database. ZipRecruiter's resume database uses advanced filtering to quickly hone in on top candidates for your roles. See someone who stands out? You can unlock their contact info instantly. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. For the first time ever, the top two teams in the preseason coaches poll will meet to open the college football regular season. Number 2, Ohio State will host top-ranked Texas on Saturday, August 30th. The preseason coaches poll was released Monday. The AP will release their top 25 next Monday. Ohio State resumes fall camp today with practice number 6 of the preseason. Head coach Ryan Day is expected to speak after practice, as well as Ohio State's quarterbacks. In the NFL, the Browns signed quarterback Tyler Huntley to their camp roster Monday. Cleveland's dealing with minor injuries to 3 of their 4 quarterbacks. Browns are headed to Carolina for joint practices with the Panthers before playing them to open the preseason Friday night. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Swimming in debt with rates as low as 8.99% APR. Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate.
Drink recommendations, movie reviews, sports discussion, and whatever the hell Reeser does. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, second hour on a Tuesday. Just saw this from Ohio State on the socials. Athletic Director Ross Bjork and head coach Ryan Day will meet with the media today approximately 11:15. Ross was on with us last week, Reese. Did he mention something about some announcements for like the game day?
Yeah, game week activations they're going to be announcing, he said, this week.
Yeah, so that's probably what Ross is contributions to that will be is some game week planning and leading up to that. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, do you think Ryan goes before Ross, or they let Ross go, and then Ryan's like sitting back there with that wrap it up button like you saw on Chappelle's show? Like, come on, want to talk football?
I would say Ross would go first, like as Ryan's wrapping up practice.
And then you give him the orchestra.
Knock it out. Yeah, knock it out. Get your statement out there, answer 3 or 4 questions, and then bring Ryan on after that. Or if Ross is going to have an extended time, because, I mean, you could do an hour with him. I mean, we did 30 minutes with him, and we could have done
He was
2
on with
hours.
every show I think we offered that morning.
Yeah, which I love.
Yes.
I love the transparency of it. I think it's
That's
great.
what you want from your athletic director, I think.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think, if he's going to do a long set, my guess is it's just more of like an announcement. Hey, here's what we're going to do for the Texas game and the lead up to it and the actual game day. And then I think for Coach Day, he will go after. So I think he'll be more like 11:30. So I think Ross would go first and Ryan would go around 11:30. The general just telling me, kind of articulating similar as well. I see on my text here that it could be more like 11:30 for Ryan, and then potentially Ross would go first. So that would check out. That would make sense to me. And if it makes sense to me, it probably makes sense to the great Jerry Emig, who's the best in the business when it comes to these things. All right, time for the real truth. Hit it, guys.
Bishop and Friends present The Real Truth.
Sponsored by Diamond Cellar. Over 76 years of experience and guaranteed lowest prices on Sawmill Road or diamondcellar.com.
All right, Ohio State's athletic director going to be talking about Texas and activations that Ohio State and Ohio State athletics are going to be offering that week, and the hours leading up to that noon kick, that big noon kick on Fox. Big noon kick, they're labeling this the biggest college football opener ever. Ohio State and Texas will surpass 12 million viewers despite that big noon kick. Is that the real truth?
12 million's it's funny. Have you guys played the video game yet?
Have not.
Have you played it?
No.
It's pretty amazing. So when you play a night game at Ohio State on the video game, and you don't have many of them. I think we only have, looks like, as the boys have played through it, I think they only have one this year. Is it Grambling or Ohio? I don't even know. But what happens is this incredible light show, much like what happened in the Tennessee game, right? Like this spectacular light show. Well, you can't do that at noon. And so there's a lot you can't do at noon. You can't. So a lot of the things, I'm very curious to hear what Ross has to say about what they are going to do to try to make noon better. There's not much you can do. And Bob and I were talking about this last week when he was on. And the reality is every big game you play at home until 2029 is going to be at noon. Just buckle up. As long as you're good and the opponent you play is good, you're going to be among the first 3 picks for Fox every time. So you're going to play big noon every big game from now through 2029 until you can get this thing sorted out. So the 12 million number is significant because that is the number that the highest rated college football games last year were actually Texas, Georgia was actually number 1. I want to say it was around 19 million or something like that. Ohio State, Michigan was a big number. But the 12 million number is kind of like that's an attention getter number. I think I wrote it, so I think this is going to kind of be right on it. I think it's either going to be just under or just over. My hunch is it'll be under, and I think a couple of the things are a couple of factors for that. Number one, it is a Labor Day weekend. It is. We're not to the point of the season yet where people are parked in front of their couches and in inclement weather for much of the country. The weather's great. It's Labor Day weekend. A lot of people get out and about on Labor Day weekend. So I don't think this is the real truth. I think it's going to be just under the 12 million threshold. I still think it'll do a really nice number, but I think it'll be just under that 12 million threshold.
So, Bo, your Labor Day weekend point is a good one, and that may be the turning point at this. I'm just trying to look at the other games at noon that day. Tennessee, Syracuse on ABC.
Mm-hmm.
That's really about the only other game that maybe anybody might want to tune into in that noon time slot. I think it will get to 12 million. other than Labor Day weekend, I don't think Big Noon is really going to affect the numbers for this game at all, especially as we lead into it more. All you're going to keep hearing is 1 versus 2 to open the season for the first time, and they're going to try to play this up like the biggest game ever. So I do think it's going to get a lot of eyeballs, even though it's at noon.
It's going to be a big number. One point you make that also has to be acknowledged, and it's true, there is no NFL. So the lead up, and the NFL's off all week, like there's not even preseason. So the lead up to it on all of the channels is going to be about this game. So it's going to be in the conscience. So just give you an idea, last year, the highest rated noon kick was Michigan-Ohio State was 12.3. So just barely over for Ohio State, Michigan at noon. Ohio State, Penn State last year was just 9.8 million. That's it for Ohio State, Penn State. Now, the highest rated regular season game last year was Georgia, Texas. That's the SEC title game. That was 16.6. The highest rated regular season game was Georgia, Texas. That was 13.2 in primetime on NBC. There were only 4 games last year that were above that 12 million threshold. The fourth one was Georgia against Alabama, late September, again in prime time. So of the top 10 or so, the other 2 that were kind of in that mix were Ohio State, Indiana was 9.3 million, and then Texas, Michigan was 9.2 million. That was week 2. Texas, Michigan last year was week 2 and did 9.2. So I think it's going to be right around it, but I just think the Labor Day weekend part of it is going to get it. I think if it was even week 2, it would help. I think if it was at night, it'd be 14.
I wonder, too, how many people might be tuning in just for the Manning name.
Well, that's
part of it.
I mean,
yeah,
for sure. It's Texas, it's Ohio State, it's Manning, it's all of it. It's also like it's kind of like the curiosity with Shedeur Sanders last year, right? Like it was, if you're on these shows that don't normally talk college football and you say the name Manning, everybody knows what you're talking about. So it's an easy place to jump off from.
It's also, I'm just looking at like the schedule on Fox that day. So they couldn't do it at night because they've got baseball obligations. Mariners and Guardians, 7:15 on Fox. But the 3:30 game, if I'm not mistaken, South Dakota at Iowa State.
Oh, jeez.
Woof.
Like, this is the real truth. It'll eclipse 12 million, but I wonder like what that graph looks like as soon as that game is done and you go to Ames.
It's like the stock market crash.
Wile E. Coyote's falling off cliffs that might be just as steep.
Reese,
what is the Gardner? Do the Guardians and Mariners do $1 million on Saturday night?
12. Just people stay around. What are you talking about?
You think they'll do $1 million? Over under $1 million? Is it the real truth that Guardians Mariners will do $1 million on Big Fox on Saturday night?
Not with Clemson LSU on ESPN.
It's not the real truth.
Reese, you talk about the 3:30 games. More importantly, maybe in this discussion is 3:30 on CBS, the big Nevada-Penn State matchup. You don't want to take away from CBS.
Well, ABC is going to give you Alabama-Florida State 3:30 that day.
I'm just talking about like for Big Ten reasons. You don't want to, if you're Fox, you don't want to move. Take CBS's viewers.
This is going to get into something we're going to talk about a little bit next when it comes to inventory. But as you guys are articulating this, do you see the problems with this television package?
A great many of them.
That the Big Ten is married to right now? The money's nice, but there's not enough good inventory to go around. To go Penn State, Nevada in the 3:30 on CBS Network.
The Columbus Clippers will host the Gwinnett Stripers tonight at 7:05. It's Dime a Dog Night over at Huntington Park. Mark the Shark will throw a strike with his first pitch. Is that the real truth?
Do you think he'll be nervous?
Yes.
You're damn right that's the real truth. Shark's been retired for a month now. All he's been doing is going in the backyard and firing fastballs for this. He's definitely piping one right down the middle.
A dirt mound in the backyard.
Will he throw from the rubber?
Absolutely.
He's a purist. Yeah.
Shark ain't no chicken.
Do this?
No.
Have you ever had to throw a first pitch?
No.
In front of people? It's further than it feels like. Right? I mean, we've all done it. We've all thrown from a mound. So it when you get out there, it feels like it's further than you think. and the mound height is a big deal in terms of the trajectory, because you usually don't warm up on a mound before you go do it. So the only time I did it was a Billings Mustangs game, and I did it, and I kind of skidded the back corner of the plate. I put some good tempo on it, but it skidded the back corner of the plate, so it was low. He caught it. Wasn't a one-hop, but he definitely kind of trapped it as it did, and it was so shameful because of the ball. They give you the ball afterwards, and the ball had like the base mark
scuff
on it. I thought, oh, dude.
Shark's been in the backyard firing fastballs at Jan for a month.
That's all he's been doing. She's got like the full catcher's gear on. She looks like Porter in The Sandlot. Just taking in pitches.
Zing.
That'll be awesome. Well, one bit of sanity, at least for now, the NCAA tournament and the future of it, at least the immediate future is known. But what does this have to do with this constant battle of inventory, and how do we create more of it, and i.e. more revenue? We'll get to all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be, and if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Tri-State Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654. Or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Bring home more of what you love with every trip to Meijer. Enjoy locally grown yellow peaches for just $1.49 a pound. Buy one, get one 50% off fresh from Meijer boneless, skinless chicken breasts, drumsticks, thighs, tenderloins, or wings. Buy 2, get 1 free on select varieties of Coca-Cola or Pepsi 12-pack cans, plus deposit where applicable. And California red seedless grapes are only $1.99 a pound. We're always working hard to make the good life a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really? I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Hey, I'm Ruben. My band and I have a new song we're getting ready to record this weekend. I'm also a tow truck driver. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I get to go home at the end of the day and see my bandmates.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, They're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
The outdoor drama Tecumseh is back this summer. The drama, the history, and the spectacle make Tecumseh one of Ohio's most beloved traditions. Tecumseh has provided thrilling live entertainment for 50 years, and the outdoor theater at Sugarloaf Mountain will provide a safe and memorable experience for your entire family. Get tickets now at tecumsehdrama.com. This message is made possible in part by the Ohio Arts Council. Tecumseh, experience the drama.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see a mostly sunny day ahead. Humidity is pretty comfortable compared to what we've been dealing with. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s, and we could see some stray showers and storms, although they will be more isolated and few and far between. Partly cloudy skies tonight and lows down into the 60s, and then for Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and highs in the mid to upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 Weather Impact forecast.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan. The friends are the guests and listeners. Reeser and Baker just work here.
Back to work. Back to work. Everybody, work, 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 work.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Indeed you are. We're proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. So yesterday it was announced that the NCAA tournament is going to stay at 68 games. It will not expand beyond that, at least not right now. Here's what that's code for. We're not going to expand right now because it's not monetarily beneficial enough for us to expand right now. Once it becomes the case that it becomes beneficial for us to expand, we will. That's my read of that. I know that I've seen DeCourcy, who we've had on a lot. I know Rhyme Time feels this way. I think Timmy feels this way too. Like, they don't want the NCAA tournament getting any bigger than it is right now. To me, once you went out of the 64 and went out of like the bracket and played these play-in games, once that happens, I guess what I would prefer almost is adding an entire another round of the tournament. Because one thing that to me is absolutely clear, and I've covered a first four game. I know what those are like. It's not the NCAA tournament. It's not. Doesn't feel like it. It's no disrespect. I think the folks in Dayton do an incredible job of filling that place up, and it's an awesome venue. It might be the best pure basketball venue that's used consistently in the state of Ohio. I really think that fondly of that venue. But just from the standpoint of, those are not NCAA tournament games. They don't feel like NCAA tournament games. And it's Bush League that 2 16 teams have to go to Dayton and don't get a chance to be a part of the real tournament. One of them doesn't. That sucks. It's not right. So to me, once they went to 68, you could just add another round and just start the whole tournament a week earlier. Do each region have 32 teams. Yeah, do 32 teams in each region. I mean, let's get nuts. Let's go to 128 and have 32 teams in each region and have a whole nother weekend of the tournament. And is that something that I could interest you in, Paramount Plus? Is that something I could interest you in, Disney Plus and ESPN? Just add a whole nother weekend to the tournament. How would that harm at this point? Once you went to 68, to me, what's the difference?
I guess if you're looking to do a couple of things, you keep True TV afloat, and you're also trying to counter program against like the college basketball crown and potentially anybody else that wants to start up their own postseason play. Say, well, buyer beware, because now we're adding more teams to the big dance that teams will absolutely choose over whatever amalgamation you want to do.
You could snuff that out in 2 seconds.
I hate it, though. I hate the idea of I love how they slow.
Have you been over there, though, to the first four?
To the Dayton first four games. They're great. Yeah. But they're not the NCAA tournament.
But they're not the tournament.
Yeah. There's such a difference. It's such a great atmosphere. They do such a good job over there. But it was idiotic to me last year where you had teams win their conference tournaments and be given bids into the NCAA tournament, but not quite. There's just a but. There's just a but about it. And it's asked that they think we want more in the NCAA tournament when we think, there aren't that many teams that deserve chances at the big dance. Definitely teams that win their conference tournaments should be in, should not have to play in, or should not have to qualify any more than they've already qualified by winning the conference tournament championship.
Sure. Yeah.
I love how they just do the slow rollout. Like, well, maybe we'll think about it, and then they see the reception and the reaction, and they go, well, we won't do it now. Okay. Like they're going to do it. So I guess this is time for all of us college basketball fans, and there are, I'm sure, a great many of us, just to get over the idea, get used to the idea of expansion. Because, as soon as they introduce the idea, they make it seem like, well, we're taking feedback, but they've made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just start here and piggyback off of what you said there, Reese. It's always been ridiculous that teams that qualified into the NCAA tournament have to play in the first four. That should have always been at-large teams battling,
of course,
to get in. Should have always been that way. The fact that these smaller schools have to do that is just a joke and ridiculous to me. Can we please just not ever do this? I know we're going to, and I know it's inventory, and heck, there may even be a world somewhere where someday this tournament expands to 128, and we get half of the basketball teams in. But if you expanded the tournament last year, 17-15 Ohio State is in the NCAA tournament. Like, what about that Buckeye basketball team last year and a 17-15 record screams NCAA tournament? We deserve to play for a national championship. Like, get out of here. Come on.
You know who's going to want that? The head coach of Ohio State.
Well, sure, he is.
Because now he can say he's in the NCAA tournament.
But doesn't it, like, it won't mean the same. It doesn't mean the same.
I don't know if it will or not. And normally I'm get off my lawn guy too. But the NCAA tournament is currently 3 weekends. If it became 4, does that hurt it? If the one is playing a 32 seed, does that hurt it that much?
I don't know. Maybe not. And this is what I've
I don't
said.
know. I'm just workshopping it. I don't know that it does.
I mean, the college football playoff ratings were supposedly down last year. Now, still a lot of people watched it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people had their eyeballs on it. And this is what I've always said with all of this. I don't like it. I don't want it, but I'm going to watch. We're going to watch. And that's all that matters in all this, because if we're watching, that means sponsors are paying for it and people are making money.
And apps are being bought, and the money goes up and up and up.
And new apps are being rolled out. I think ESPN's got their self-titled thing coming in the fall. Fox is doing another one. Like,
you guys remember last week when I said something to the effect of, like, let's stop acting like all of these people running media companies are smart? They're not. Do you understand what has happened? Like, for example, with HBO over the last 18 months. So their app was HBO Go. Well, I think it was HBO Go or Now. I can't remember. Then they switched to the other one. Then they called it HBO Max. Then they changed it to Max. And they did that for a little bit, about a year. And then in the last month, they switched it back to HBO Max. Because as we all said when they switched it to Max, the one brand that you have that's the strongest is the HBO brand. Like, that should be in the damn name. And so they flipped it back. Now it's HBO Max. Every time that I've logged into it, it acts like it doesn't know who I am. And I have to redo it every time with the stupid QR code and the passwords and all of that. And it's like, dude, you've just changed the name. That's on you. That's on you. Like, these guys don't know what they're doing. They are throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. The only group that was really on board with this from Jump Street was Netflix. They're the only app that knew what they were doing right out of the gates because they were the innovators of it. Prime's pretty good too. But the rest of them are largely a mess, and this is just inventory for that mess. So I do think you're going to get to 128. I think that's probably how this thing's going to finally end up. And this dovetails into a conversation that we had last week with Ross Bjork, a conversation taking place in the SEC right now. Why does the Big Ten want to add championship weekend? Play-in games, not just the Big Ten championship game. Why do they want to do 1 versus 8 and 2 versus 7 or however it's going to be? They want the inventory. They want to give their television partners more quality inventory. Why is the SEC not added a 9th game? Because so far it hasn't been worth it for them and their coaches to play the 9th game, because ESPN has not agreed to pay them more for the 9th game, or at least a number that they're happy with. This is just where we are. This is just it. This is the reality of this sport. So the NCAA tournament expanding, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because it's compelling inventory for an entire another weekend for your television partners. In a business that needs all the money it can get because now it's having to pay players and nobody wants to take less money in administration. Then have that same conversation about the Big Ten championship weekend. When you get to the point where Fox, CBS, and NBC say, yeah, I think we would be interested in game at noon, game at 3:30, game at 7 o'clock, and a Friday night game. Can we get a Friday night game too? You can get us four games out of the Big Ten on championship weekend? Yeah, we'll pay for that. When that number gets big enough, they'll accept payment. When the SEC hears from ESPN that a ninth game is worth an extra $7 million a team, they'll play the ninth game. They're going to play it.
When do we think they make that change?
When the money gets good. When the money makes it worth it.
How long do you think it takes before? Like, are we going 1 season, 2 seasons?
I mean, the Big Ten thing is really fascinating to me because Petitti's very aggressive with it. And the problem for the Big Ten is their television partners are fully ensconced in the NFL in December. All 3 of them are. So, I mean, and by the way, ESPN has to eliminate. I mean, they have to get through some of their agreements. Remember last year, the college football playoff games, some of them were on TNT because ESPN had college basketball that they were contractually obligated to show.
And ESPN just got Red Zone.
They do have Red Zone, but I'm guessing they put that all on the apps. I think that's probably
they put it on ESPN.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
It's a good job out of them naming the app the thing everybody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the smart way to go about it. I wondered, like, if what we think is it's going to be 12 in 2025, probably 12 in 2026. I think that that December 1 date that the Big Ten and the SEC have to kind of get on the same page. And it's like a floating date that December 1st. I don't necessarily know if that happens this year. So we could be looking at 2 seasons of a 12-teamer. At least that's what I hope.
Yeah.
When they do decide to go to 16, does that go in lockstep? All right, 16 teams, play in weekend, SEC 9th conference game. Like, does that all happen within the span of a couple of days?
Can you imagine being Ryan Day and playing Michigan the Saturday after Thanksgiving and then playing USC the next week and then playing the 2:15 game?
Would not be thrilled.
Well, what are we doing? I mean, you basically are putting the importance of the college football season is all going to happen after Thanksgiving. That's not what this sport was built on. So I hope when all of that happens, they also get the calendar right. That's got to go hand in hand. It's going to take real leadership. I don't know if anyone's got the stones to have real leadership, but if they do, that's what it's going to take. You got to get the calendar right, too, because I can't imagine telling a coach you're going to do this in the month of December, all the while having a portal and recruiting and everything else. Tuesdays with Taberi coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. When we say we want to lose weight, we mean fat, not muscle. New studies show up to 40% of the weight lost on the new meds is muscle, not fat. Keep your muscle. Lose the fat with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Wake up and cash. It's Top Picks on Morning Juice. Powered by WeWinUwin.com. Professional sports bettor Chad Patrick. Dropping plays and juicing up your Friday mornings with fresh pick winners. WeWinUwin.com. Built by winners for winners. Stop guessing and start cashing.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bishop and Friends present Tuesdays with Taberry.
We're efforting.
He said this was going to happen, by the way.
He said it was? Or
no,
you
I did. I said he's on vacation last
I texted
week.
him last night.
I know, and you're like, I'll get him.
I told him last night. I'm like, are you good? I said, don't worry about it. You're on vacation. Don't worry about it. You're good. And I said, are you good? And he goes, yeah, I'm good. Let's do it.
What? Okay. What is up? Does I'm good mean, no, I'm doing well in my current state? Or I'm good to come on?
Now he's texting me. Yes, sorry. He's ready. He's ready now.
He's coming soon.
I love the idea of like of me like holding him to a standard even though he's on vacation. Who do you think you are not picking up the phone when I call you after all these years?
My phone was on silence. I didn't see it. I was sitting there going, is he going to call? And then I looked and I goes, idiot. I turned it on silence because it was blowing up.
You just moved recently. What was your favorite part about moving, and what was your least favorite part about moving?
All of it was my least favorite, and my next move is the Resurrection Cemetery. That's it.
That's it.
That will be my next move.
It's a hell of a thing building a home, isn't it, buddy?
Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you, I'm still finding things. Like, for the first 2 weeks we were here, I couldn't find my shoes. I wore the same pair of tennis shoes to work because I didn't know where the shoes were, and they were down in a crawl space in the basement of the new house. Somehow they got put down there.
Well,
and it was like an Easter egg.
Would you pay movers? You paid some white glove movers in there, money bags?
Yes, but I also rented a U-Haul 3 times in a week.
Okay.
And I had, kids and anyone else that, hey, come here and help me move. And you know how stuff is, You think you're putting it in the, it should have been put into the bedroom, and it was in a crawl space down here.
How much stuff did you have that you could not believe you had that was just junk?
I love my wife, Terry Taberry, but let me just tell you something. I've been telling her, because this was like a year process, I kept saying, hey, every day go through a room, we'll get rid of stuff. Mm-hmm. We'll get rid of stuff. She couldn't get rid of any of it. So we moved boxes of stuff, like Beanie Babies. And they're in their individual little boxes. And I said, honey, what are we going to do with these? Yeah. I go, okay, good. They're going in the basement in the box where they've been the last 30 years at our old house. I mean, what are we doing? They're not even on display or nothing. I mean, they're going to be worth money someday. You watch. I said, no, they're not. They're not. They're not. It's like, well, I told you the story what I did when we covered the 90 World Series, the Reds and the A's, and the Reds swept them. Well, you know how they give you the World Series pens. They're a highly collectible item because, so highly collectible item. Well, what did I do? I traded my World Series pens from the World Series, Reds and A's, for a Princess Di Beanie Baby.
You have that thing?
I have the Princess Di Beanie. It's in a little case, and it's got the special little inside PVCs or what? Yeah, that's the kind of crap I moved, Bo. That's the kind of crap.
That's how it worked. I don't want to break your heart, but my wife's sister collected those Beanie Babies and had the Princess Di one and many of the other ones. And when her parents moved, they're like, well, maybe Bootsy will like these. You can have them. So I got the box, and there was a ton of them. And I'm like, wow, I think these are supposed to be worth something. So I looked into it, and basically they're not. It's kind of like my baseball cards and all the cards I kept as a kid that I thought would be worth something. I kept them for 40 years, 30 years. None of them are worth anything. I think nostalgia is extinct.
Well, it's not only that. It's the problem is we were trying to catch lightning in a bottle. You know, Babe Ruth was worth a lot of money because, A, he was one of the greatest players of all time, and there weren't very many cards of him, and so it was in high demand. Same thing with Mickey Mantle. Well, now, you know, people saw the prices of these cards. Well, they're collecting them, and it's like, oh, I got a Mark McGwire rookie card. Okay, great. You know, I do have a Pete Rose rookie card. It's worth a little bit, but not like what a but it's not like what a Babe Ruth is worth. And then, you know, you got to remember, you know, Pete Rose autographed. He signed everything. I mean, everything. That guy signed and signed and signed. And it's like you're trying to create what makes something value is if it's limited. But none of this stuff is limited. They were producing Beanie Babies. How many Princess Dies did they make? And everyone's like, and people were cashing in on it. I mean, you know, I bought into it. I'm going, okay, honey, I'll do it. You know, and you know, you do that stuff, and then you look. It's like I dated a girl back in the '80s. And she got me collecting comic books. Her son was, you know, like had a little kid, and we were, and so, you know, I'm going, wow, okay. So I got boxes of comic books. They're not worth nothing. But they were like in the 40s and 50s if you had the originals. But, you know, I got the Batman Killing Joke. Yes, I'm going to buy 10 of these because they'll be worth something. You know what? They're worth nothing.
Nothing. No, because everybody did it. And I think the other thing is Big Lou and guys like my dad and everybody else, they said that, you know, their moms threw away their cards or whatever, so none of us threw away cards. We all kept them.
No,
so there's
my
your
dad
scarcity problem.
My dad tells a story about how he had Mantle's rookies. He had some Babe Ruth cards and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And when we left our old house, he just threw them away.
Right.
Because they weren't, and this was like in 1960 whatever, and he threw them away.
Yeah. Because what are you going to do with them? They came with bubble gum. Like, what are you going to do with it?
I had these, and I'm going, Dad, gum, you know, because those would have been worth something.
Yeah.
But what do you do? You know, but no, it's nice. We're one of the few houses in the neighborhood. They're building like crazy, and so the one thing you get used to when you build in a new development is dealing with dirt.
Yeah, a little bit of dust.
And it's everywhere. But I never thought at 66 I'd be building a new house, Bo, you know?
No. Yeah, no. Yeah. But it's awesome. And yeah, you're going to want to change those HVAC filters about every 3 months in the while the build is happening, because that dust
I'm doing it they told me every month.
Every month? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been changing it. It's like, you know, there's dust everywhere. We got backhoes and tractors and every daggum thing in the world right across. I'm looking at them, waving at them now. How you guys doing? Yeah.
What did you take away from Buckeye Open practice last weekend?
You know, it reminded me, and here's where we're heading, and you and I have been talking about it. It reminded me of like a pro camp. Mm-hmm. With all the fans there. I think, you know, the first 3 practices were open. I could see them extending that like they do with the Browns and the Bengals because there's such interest. You know, they had, 600 people there 3 days in a row, and, you know, it was kind of a festival-type atmosphere. They had, you know, they were selling memorabilia. They had a stand where you could buy Buckeye paraphernalia. I think as I looked at it, you know, Ryan Day was, you know, I don't think there's any question that he feels comfortable with Matt Patricia, and I think he's hopeful he can turn the keys over to the defense to him and not have to get involved, because that was what he wanted to do when he first became the head coach. He wanted to worry about the offense. And I think this year, given the fact that he's going to have a rookie quarterback back there, he really wants that. And, you know, I was watching him on the first day, and he was coaching the quarterbacks hard. He was getting in their face. And, you know, he is going, you know, I asked him after the first practice, I said, how much, you know, you can only do what you can do in practice. Are you thinking about hitting the guys? Because, you know, there's you did in the spring game. And then, when do you hope to have a quarterback named? And he said, we are going to turn the heat up big time on all of them. We're not going to hit them. We did in the spring, but we're not going to do that because you can't afford to get someone hurt in practice. But I think from a mental standpoint, getting in their faces, trying to, just to see who handles the pressure the best, I think he's going to do that big time. And then he said that if they don't have a starter named by Texas, that's probably not a good thing. And that they hope to. But he said, but we're going to do whatever we have to do to win the game, and that's the most important thing. And if we don't have a starter name, then we got to do whatever we can to win the game. But he hopes to. And I think what he's looking for is one of these guys to make a major step. He's impressed with the leadership that he's seen. And, he's going from a guy in Will Howard who was, could have been a pro, from an age standpoint and everything, on maturity level. I will say this, Lincoln Keyholtz, a lot of people are sleeping on this kid. He's a pretty athletic kid, as we have talked in the past. There's no denying Julian Sayin's release. There's no denying both of these guys were highly recruited. Ryan Day they're here because Ryan Day wanted them here, and I call him the quarterback whisperer for a reason. Yeah. And I just think that, to me, that's the biggest issue, because whoever it is, I think they're going to have the best offensive line they've had in his tenure because of what the adversity those guys felt a year ago and having to step up and kind of grow. I think the O-line's you got to keep them healthy, but I think that is going to be the strength of the offense. I think they are going to have a good running game, and I think it can be by committee, although I'm a big fan of Peoples. But with that receiver core, you and I both know, Bo, that great receivers can make a quarterback look pretty daggum good.
Oh, yeah.
And when you got Jeremiah Smith and with the attention he's going to get, it's going to be interesting to see what he does for an encore, because he's not sneaking up on anyone. But if teams decide to shut him down, there's going to be other guys that are going to be open. And there's some serious weapons on this team. So, but I think it all starts, obviously, you and I both know, and, Urban Meyer said it doesn't matter what level it is. If you don't have a quarterback, you're in trouble. And they got to figure out who it's going to be. And I think probably by next week, I would think we might hear something. I think we could by the end of maybe next week.
I'm kind of with you on that. I think this is a very, very big week on campus, culminating on Saturday with what we think could be a scrimmage. So good stuff as always, buddies. Get back to your vacation. Great talking to you, my friend.
All right, Bobo, you need anything? Sorry I didn't pick up. I learned something new that if you silence it, it's not going to ring.
No, you're not going to hear it. That's silence.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
There you go. I learned another thing. I'm an idiot, but I try.
There he goes. Dom Taveri, Channel 10 on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. He's apologizing for not picking up when we're putting him on the radio while he's on vacation. That sums up Dom in a nutshell. Thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
Donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
And we have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
We work to help your neighbors, the planet, and you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
The roof for your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That in itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
We are rebranding our AM station, ESPN Columbus, partly because we're bored, mostly because it's crap. We have a new lineup picked out and everything, but angry lawyer person said I can't say it yet. It all starts Tuesday, September 2nd.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Get a premium finish with less odor and fumes for your painting project with Rust-Oleum's low-odor spray paint. It provides a long-lasting, durable finish, making it perfect for indoor or outdoor projects. Save big on Rust-Oleum spray paints now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards. 1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Tuesday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Monday, the University of South Florida announced they are not hiring an athletic director. Quote, "We are hiring a CEO of athletics." A statement from Will Weatherford, chair of South Florida's Board of Trustees, read, "This new title reflects more than a change in language. It reflects a new era in college sports and a new vision for USF. In today's world, leading an athletics department is no longer just about managing teams or balancing a budget. It's about building a competitive enterprise. Adding college athletics has moved closer to the business model of professional sports. To succeed in this environment, USF athletics must run like a serious business." Because it is one. That's where the CEO comes in. We're looking for a leader who understands both the boardroom and the locker room, someone who can drive revenue, elevate our brand, attract top-tier talent, and embrace innovation. End quote. Thing or not a thing?
I know Will. His brother Drew was a quarterback at Florida State at the end of the near the end of the Bowden run. This is semantics, is all of this is. I do think we are just inching closer because a CEO is someone ahead of a professional organization of some sorts. So we're just getting rid of some of the semantics that we've been dealing with for a long time. So you're inching closer towards just calling it what it is. But I think probably the fact that this is USF, I mean, we're talking about it. We normally don't talk about USF. So I suppose in that sense it's a thing, like some publicity is good publicity in this case, but I think largely it's not. I think it's just semantics more than anything else.
This is not a thing because so many schools are already doing this. And plus, I don't know how it is at USF, but I would think bigger programs at least are going to need not only an athletic director, but this CEO of athletics as well. Like with Ohio State, we already know about Pantoni, and he's pretty much the general manager of the football team. I don't know how much Ross has to worry about the football team and some of that stuff and their NIL and all of that because Pantoni does such a good job with that. Ross has a lot bigger, broader picture to look at than just the football team, even though the football team is what makes almost all of the money at Ohio State. So, yeah, I don't think this is a thing. Tell me this is a thing when you hire an athletic director and this CEO of athletics.
Just to be clear, it is in place of an athletics director. They're doing the CEO. So,
yeah,
like the first
so it's
time.
just a name, right, Reese? Do I have that?
Right. The first time it won't be called an athletic director. His or her title will be the CEO of athletics. So it is, in my opinion, to kind of piggyback off you, Bo, it is really just semantics you're arguing because all of that was said in that press release is, welcome. Welcome to college athletics in the year 2025. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to open the preseason Thursday night in Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles at 7:30. Earlier this morning, head coach Zach Taylor told the gaggle of media available that Joe Burrow and other big-name players are going to play several series Thursday night and more in their second game of the preseason next week against the Commanders. Thing or not a thing?
It's a risky thing. I mean, I would probably, if it were me and I owned an NFL team or I was the head coach of an NFL team, I would probably do the Rams approach. I would probably say, look, this is a 17-game season. I understand what this is probably about for the Bengals, right? We got to start fast. We got to be ready to go right away. We haven't started fast in recent years. That's why I missed the postseason. But at the same time, like, you want someone rolling up on Burrow? I mean, I'll tell you what I would be for in preseason football. The quarterback's wearing a red jersey. Like, hands off. Don't be near him. Just two-hand touch him. Treat him like how they treat joint practices. Just nothing to the ground. Like when Jamar Chase, I don't need Jamar Chase getting hit and tackled by his legs. I don't need to see that. So, like, if you get near him, two-hand touch him, he's down, and let's go. And then if that meant that I could see more of those first-team guys, then I would think that would be appealing. But I don't need to, I would not want to see, I don't need to see Joe Burrow do anything in the preseason. Nothing.
I think this is a thing, and it's a thing that I like, quite frankly. And I understand the injury concerns, but it's football. There's always injury concerns. Like, Burrow could go out there and get hurt in week one, and we've talked about it. They've got the Browns and Jaguars to start, and we've talked about them for the past couple of years. They have historically here gotten off to bad starts, and it has hurt them. It may have cost them the postseason last year. It probably did with that game to New England. As long as these players are all for it and in on it, I love it. And I think it's so hard to replicate games. If you want to get off to a fast start, if you want your defensive tackling well in week one and your offense humming like it should, I think this is a smart thing by the Bengals. I mean, injury concerns are always there no matter what you do, even in practice. So I love this from the Bengals, and I think it'll help them.
Yesterday afternoon, Ohio State.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that Ohio State women's basketball announced on Monday that it'll travel to Storrs, Connecticut to play UConn next season as part of a home-and-home agreement. The Huskies are going to come to Columbus sometime in the 26-27 season. They last met in the 2023 NCAA tournament with the Buckeyes beating the Huskies 73-61. The only time Ohio State's beaten UConn on the basketball court. Buckeyes are 6-1 all-time against Geno Auriemma and UConn. Losses in all 5 regular season matchups. Thing or not a thing?
I think it's a cool thing. I would just want it the other way around, that they were coming here next year, because Geno's still there, and I don't know if he'll be there by the time you get to 26, 27. So, like, I don't know if I don't think Connecticut's going to be Connecticut once he's gone. Like, I think it'll be like Tennessee basketball. So I would just want that inverted, but I think it's cool that they're playing them.
Awesome thing. Awesome thing. Love these matchups in college basketball.
All right, final hour of the program coming up next. 2-a-days closes out the NFC West. We'll do the Seahawks. We will do the 49ers. In addition to that, we anticipate Ryan Day being at the podium. If he is around 11:30, we will take that live. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows.
Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches?
More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices.
Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward, and I'm coming up on 2 full years since starting Awaken 180. Dropped 50 pounds, and I still check the scale like it owes me money. Guess what? Hasn't budged. Still under 200 pounds, still feeling great. Keeping weight off this long isn't luck or magic, it's just having the right playbook. Awaken 180 taught me exactly what works, what doesn't, and how to stay lean without the struggle. Want real, lasting results? Don't just drop the weight, retire it for good. Trust me, Awaken 180 is your winning game plan. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
It's child's play to donate your car, truck, RV, or boat to Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio. They'll pick it up free of charge, steer you through the paperwork, and a hefty tax deduction rolls your way as you help provide a home away from home for families of seriously ill hospitalized children. For more information about donating your vehicle to Ronald McDonald House Charities, visit rmhc-centralohio.org or call 614-CARS-HELP. That's 614-CARS-HELP.
The John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/Gator XUV.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. A Columbus legend takes the mound tonight at Huntington Park. The Clippers begin a homestand against the Gwinnett Stripers. Mark the Shark Howell will throw out the ceremonial first pitch. The Diamond Dog Night festivities begin around 7 o'clock. In the majors, the Reds look for another win over the Cubs. First pitch from Wrigley is 8:05. You can hear it on the Fan following the Buckeye Show. As for the Guardians, Cleveland continues in Queens against the Mets at 7:10. Guardians beat the Mets last night in 10 innings. In college football, Ohio State continues fall camp on Tuesday. Buckeyes are number 2 in the coaches poll to begin the regular season. Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjork and Ryan Day will speak around 11:15 this morning. We'll carry Coach Day's comments live on the Fan when he takes the podium. This update is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, and trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today and every day at roosterswings.com.
Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, G, you just heard from the handsome update anchor there. If Ryan Day gets to the podium here around 11:30, we anticipate it being somewhere in there. We will take that for you live as training camp practice. True training camp practice, day 1 was today, so they'll get through this week. They checked into the hotel yesterday, and then it'll culminate with what we believe will be a scrimmage Saturday at the Shoe. That's kind of the outline for the way that this week is going to go. Quarterback's going to talk today as well, so you'll hear from Lincoln, I'm sure Tavian, and of course Julian as well. We're continuing with two-a-days. We're wrapping up the NFC West. Hit it, fellas.
Bishop and Friends present Two-A-Days, our preseason look around the league.
And we conclude the NFC West. We begin the conclusion of the NFC West in Seattle with the Seahawks, with the Niners coming up next. This Seahawks team to me feels like the transition from Pete Carroll is now complete. That this is a brand new day there. I think it's kind of signified by the signing of Sam Darnold. Whether this team sinks or swims is going to be almost entirely on his right shoulder to me. They've drafted really well. They went through a little bit of a roster switch at wide receiver, obviously. No more Lockett, no more DK Metcalf. Jackson Smith and Jigba expect to get a lion's share of the looks. They added Cooper Kupp to play in the slot, and will give Darnold a little bit of a warm blanket there. They have crushed some of these draft picks over the last couple of years, and they kind of rebuilt on the fly. Would it surprise me if they made a run at the postseason? No, it would not. I think the roster's that good, but it really just will come down to Darnold, and that's what makes this such an interesting gamble. It's $100 million for Sam, and the hope is that he can be the guy. He's only 28. Last year, it's pretty remarkable the year that he put up. He throws for 4,319, 3-1 touchdown to interception, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks. Had a quarterback rating over 100 on the season, 100.2, but really stumbled to AR's chagrin down the stretch. In the final game against Detroit, in Detroit, he went 18 of 41 for 166, and then in the playoff loss to the Rams, they lose 27-9 when he was with the Vikings. He's 25 of 40 for 245, 62% completion percentage, a touchdown and a pick, and was sacked 9 times in that game. My God. So It's just to me, they will go wherever he takes them. I just don't know what that is. And my gut feeling is it's not very far, and there's a very hard ceiling on it.
Yeah, I think everybody had the same reaction when that deal was announced. Because certainly a franchise quarterback worth $100 million. Sam Darnold, the mononucleosis guy from several seasons ago, like that's what you're hitching your wagon to. And they have a talented wide receiver room. We think the addition of Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. We think Jackson Smith and Jigba. We think a couple of, they drafted, they're really high on Troy Horton, the draft pick out of Colorado State. We think all of these things can work on paper, but boy, you throw all that together, and they have a navigable schedule. So I think that helps. A Week 8 bye, but they open against the Niners. So it's going to be very interesting the parallel paths those two teams are going to be on, obviously in the same division. But with the injuries that piled up last year for San Francisco, I do think you saw Seattle take advantage of that. But yeah, it's all about Darnold.
Yeah, it is.
I remember a couple years ago when we looked at the NFC West and we thought maybe it was the best division in football. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that's the case anymore. Like, I think we all feel like the Los Angeles Rams are going to be pretty good and are probably the class of this division, but it's really kind of wide open for the taking, so I kind of understand why they tried to take a flyer and maybe hit a lottery ticket here on
big swing.
Sam Darnold.
Big swing they took.
That's a big price to pay for a lottery ticket. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just keep Geno Smith, because at least you knew what you had and you knew that it worked here with him and this team that you had. I don't know. I feel like the Seahawks have just been a team here the past few years, maybe since Geno's been there, that's just kind of been a team that's middle of the road here, and I feel like that's just what they're going to be again, possibly. I think they probably take a step back this year.
I do think, to the point that Bo made about how this was Pete Carroll's franchise, no longer. I think that's why, you saw obviously Geno go to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And you know who the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders is. This is Mike McDonald's team. It's his second year in Seattle. And my guess, this screamed to me when the mononucleosis guy gets the $100 million deal, is that Mike McDonald in this franchise wants to make it known this is a new era for the Seattle Seahawks.
I mean, Darnold was better last year, albeit in an incredible circumstance, than Baker was when Baker got the $100 million from Tampa.
Yeah.
He was statistically better. So he's 28. I think Geno's 34. So I understand. And I think Mike McDonald can really coach it. I mean, he went 10-7 last year. I think he's really good. So it's kind of a flyer on, we don't want to go to the bottom. I do think there's a very hard ceiling on it, though. And so that middle class, I think you're going to see more and more teams as we go through this. You're going to see more and more teams in the NFL that occupy that middle class. They're not so bad that they're picking number one overall for Nussmeier or anything like that, but they're also have no chance at winning a Super Bowl, and that's what I feel about Seattle. There's no chance this team is a Super Bowl contender in any way. Let's hit the categories. Fantasy sleeper, who do you like? Seattle fantasy sleeper, Bake.
So I almost went Jalen Milroe here, because I feel like they are going to use some packages with him, especially in the red zone. And I don't really believe in Darnold, so I almost went Jalen Milroe, but I'm going to go Elijah Arroyo, the tight end out of Miami that they drafted in the second round. A.J. Barner is their starter at tight end. I don't think he's what they've had at tight end, though, for a while, because they're usually a team that has decent tight ends. I think Arroyo is a guy that in the red zone especially, he had 7 touchdowns for Miami last year, and I know they had a couple different tight ends that played. I think he is a guy as a second-round pick that's probably going to steal some red zone touchdowns and maybe a guy to watch for them.
I think in terms of PPR, if Troy Horton's available, he's probably their 4th or 5th option. Rookie out of Colorado State they drafted, but is really impressing at training camp. They're going to get a lot of attention for Cooper Kupp, a lot of attention for Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I think Horton's a good option there if you're looking late rounds.
I cannot believe that you went Elijah Arroyo. I thought for sure I was safe there.
No, I knew that. I know Baker enough, to not. I think, where's Baker going to go? I'll go elsewhere.
I almost went Milroe.
I loved Arroyo in the draft. I loved him. I think he's going to be a stud. Yeah, I like him as well. Do they have the right quarterback, Bake?
I don't think so. I don't believe in Darnold, and I don't think his offensive coaching here with Clint Kubiak as his offensive coordinator, I don't think it's going to be as good as what he had in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. So I just don't believe in him.
It should be the same language, though. It'll be the same language because they're all from that same tree. So it should be very similar, familiar. Go ahead, Reese.
I don't think so. I'm leaning no.
I think they do if they're trying to avoid being at the bottom. I think they do if they're trying to be in the mix for the playoffs and kind of be a fun team that their fans get excited about. I think he'll do that. I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff. I don't think that season is just a mirage, that there was real talent there, albeit they have an incredibly talented team and a brilliant coach in Minnesota. But I don't think he'll fall completely off the cliff. Coolest player ever for Seattle.
So I know they've had some really good teams in these new uniforms, but I don't think you can have a cool Seattle Seahawks player unless he was in the old school silver, royal blue, and green. Yeah. And I think the first guy that most people think of when you talk about those uniforms is Steve Largent.
Yeah.
But to me, maybe it's my fandom bias. There's nobody cooler to me than Joey Galloway. Joey Galloway is my guy as the coolest Seattle Seahawk.
That's a good job, yeah.
And the fact they brought those throwbacks back, was it last season or 2 seasons ago when they made that officially official?
Last year.
It was JSN, right, was one of the models for it. One of the smartest moves an NFL team could possibly make. For me, it's Marshawn Lynch, one of the coolest NFL players of all time.
I'm going to go Sherm. I think Sherm's my guy because when I think of their dominance, I think of that LOD defense, and he was kind of the mouthpiece for that. So I'm going to go Richard Sherman as my guy there. What is this team this year, Bake?
I think they're one step back than they were last year. Last year they were 10-7. I think they're a 9-8 football team this year.
Yeah, I had 8-9, 9-8, both crossed out and underlined. So I think they're a team that they're going to be sniffing a wild card for a while.
They could very easily be a road to nowhere team. I mean, you could feel it. I do think they're going to kind of be in the mix because, to Baker's earlier point, I think this division is largely down. So I think if they split their games with everybody except the Rams, they'll kind of be in the mix. Franchise grade for Seattle. So what we're looking for here, Bake, is where are we with the brand? Where are we with the roster? Where are we with ownership, coaching, all of it? Where's your franchise grade for Seattle?
I feel like they're about a B-. I think the brand, is pretty good from the most recent run of success they had. I don't know about McDonald and what they're going to be this year, but they've been a team they haven't tanked recently, right? No. They've been middle of the road like we talked about. So B-.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a solid B. I think they've been relevant. Their jerseys, their uniforms are cool. And there's, unlike I think most, they've done it, I think, the best in leaning into their area, the region. Yes. They've really embraced that region, and the teams that they've had have really been representative of that fan base and great ambassadors to Seattle and the Pacific Northwest.
I think it's a B+. I think they're one of the better organizations in the sport. I think the only thing that just keeps them from being higher is just how remote they are. It's a real choice to go play in Seattle. Once you're there, you love it, but it is so remote. So I think that's the only reason it keeps out of the A range for me. So I'm going to go B+ for the organization. We'll hit the San Francisco 49ers coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad. I've been taking the low T treatment at Tri-State Men's Health for a little under a year now. So I was really just struggling with finding the energy to accomplish the things I wanted to do every day. By the end of the workday, I was very drained and tired and found it hard to concentrate and get my job done, and was looking for something to kind of get that edge back. Once I started taking the treatment, I felt probably within the first 2 to 3 weeks more energy. And the thing that really I noticed right away was sleeping. Now I get a solid 8 hours. I'm going on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. So men out there, if you're struggling with any of the symptoms I was, low energy, brain fog, lack of sleep, I would highly recommend you call Tri-State Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Chad. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers. Tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit oda.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We will see a mostly sunny day ahead. Humidity is pretty comfortable compared to what we've been dealing with. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s, and we could see some stray showers and storms, although they will be more isolated and few and far between. Partly cloudy skies tonight and lows down into the 60s, and then for Wednesday, plenty of sunshine and highs in the mid to upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, expect Ryan Day at the podium here in the next 10 minutes or so. When he goes there, we will effort bringing him live. Also, get some reaction to some of the things Ross Bjork is talking about. He's addressing things right now, among them bringing towels to the stadium for that game. Look, you're doing the best you can with noon. There's not a whole lot you can do to create something. It just comes early. I mean, you guys have been to those games. It just comes really early. And so it's hard to create that type of, it's still great. It's still the shoe. It's awesome. It's just not as good as it would be at 3:30 or at 8 o'clock. And so you do the best you can with the circumstances that you're under in the media rights deal that were signed by a previous administration. All right, let's continue with two-a-days. We are with the San Francisco 49ers now. And this, my friends, feels to me like a team whose window has closed and there's going to be an attempt to reopen it. Now, I would not put it past Kyle Shanahan to reopen that window. He's as good a coach as you're going to find, except in the Super Bowl where he's come up short and was the offensive coordinator on a team that was up 28-3 and didn't run the ball. But there is a style. They draft to what they are. They are in lockstep with everything they do. They're an absolute model organization. Guys love playing there. They love playing for Kyle. Offensively, he's a borderline genius. But they've lost a lot of guys. And a lot of what made them special, they just couldn't pay everybody. Eventually, you get to a point of the NFL. Think about where this is kind of the difference. And they played the 49ers or the Chiefs rather in Super Bowls. But this is kind of what it reminds me of to me. The Kansas City Chiefs they could not pay everybody. So they had to make a trade for Tyreek Hill, and they had to kind of change what they were, and then they won a Super Bowl doing that. The San Francisco 49ers are there right now. They had to pay Brock Purdy. They gave him a boatload of money, and now they have a situation where you couldn't keep everybody, so you're kind of changing who you are on the fly. It's a big bet on Purdy. He's been great. They still have some weapons. Ayuk is still there. Juwan Jennings is still there. Their offensive line's pretty good. George Kittle still there, still thriving. I will never draft Christian McCaffrey again in fantasy football ever. The 2 times I've drafted him number 1 overall, both times he got hurt and missed the whole year, so I will never make that mistake again. If he gets back and he's good, then he's elite. But we're to the point now where he's hurt a lot, and it's almost like an every other year thing. So maybe this year he'll be healthy. I think the ceiling for this team feels like, yeah, they could, make the playoffs. Could they win around? For sure. I wouldn't put it behind Kyle, but it does feel like they're kind of in the middle of a big major retooling to me, guys.
Yeah, well, I'll just give it already. Like, Christian McCaffrey's my sleeper. Like, he's the guy you got to be on the lookout for this season. Down year 2024, he's on the up and up in 2025. So be on the lookout for Christian McCaffrey, a name you need to know before you do your fantasy football drafts. Look, the Niners have the easiest schedule in the league this year, and if they can stay healthy, all the pieces that you talked about, this newcomer or this young guy, Christian McCaffrey, who will surprise everybody this season. That's an 11-6 football team.
Could be.
But they're already getting injured throughout camp. Like, they had to cut a kick. Another one of the, I think it might have been Greg Joseph, but they had to cut a kicker yesterday because they're dealing with a bunch of guys that are injured early in training camp. So you can't trust the health of this team. That's why it does feel more like 8 and 9.
McCaffrey's career is crazy. Real quick.
It's so nuts to look at, like the seasons, ups and downs.
His first 3 years, he played 16 games every time. Then he played a season of 3, a season of 7, and then he played all 17 in 22, first 6 in Carolina and 11 in San Francisco. Then he played all 17 in, so he did that in 22, and then he played 16 games in 23, and then just 4 last year. It's just a weird look. Go ahead, Vic.
I was just going to say, like, it's all about health with this team, right? Mm-hmm. They're probably not the team that they were 3 or 4 seasons ago, but I think they're still pretty good. They still got a lot of pieces. They've still got talented wide receivers. They've got talented running backs. They've got the best left tackle in football. If he's healthy, they've got one of the best kickers in football, and they've got a quarterback who is good enough. I don't know if he's a guy that's going to win you 2 extra games a year, but if you're an 11-6 team, you'll get to 11-6 with Brock Purdy. So it's all about the health with this team to me.
Brock Purdy is 25 years old. He is, quite honestly, singularly the reason that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are still there. Because if you go look what they gave up to draft Trey Lance, if they don't stumble into this kid with the very last pick of a draft, they might all be gone. It's pretty crazy. Like 2 years ago, when you look at Purdy was 70% completions, 42-80, 9.6 an attempt. 31 touchdowns, 11 picks. Last year it comes down a little bit. No McCaffrey, so that hurts. 66%, 38-64, 8.5 yards an attempt, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. But yeah, it's kind of that, and to me this feels like I'm with you. I think they could they be 11-6? Yeah, I'm not going to doubt Kyle Shanahan. I don't. If McCaffrey's healthy, they still have weapons. They'll play competently defensively, and all of those things. But also, like, health Health, because they just don't have the depth that they used to have. They don't have the star power that they used to have at all. Just because you can't keep everybody. No Deebo Samuel, for example, anymore. Fantasy sleeper with the 49ers. Reese already went with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, be on the lookout.
Because of everything you guys have said about Christian McCaffrey so far in this, my fantasy sleeper for them is Jordan James, the kid they drafted out of Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really impressed watching that kid, especially that first game against Ohio State. And I feel like he's a guy that could do a lot of the things Christian McCaffrey could do. Maybe not quite as good, but good slashing running back, can catch the ball out of the backfield some. So I think Jordan James, if Christian McCaffrey gets hurt, which the chances of that are pretty good at some point, Jordan James could slide right in there and you not lose too much.
I think he'd be a great late round. He should be one of the first late round backup running back guys.
One of your handcuffs.
He should be a hand. Yeah, absolutely. I also wouldn't be surprised if Ricky Pearsall has a nice year for them. That wouldn't shock me at all if he got in the mix, just because of all the injuries they have elsewhere, and he feels like the type of receiver Kyle would like.
They need him to.
Any love for Robbie Chosen?
I like the name.
What did he choose?
Chose his last name.
Be something if he did.
Oh,
Do they
he
have
did?
the right quarterback?
I think so. I think they do.
Yeah, I think so too. Right QB, Reese?
Oh, yeah. And they got Curtis Rourke once he gets healthy.
Oh, baby. Coolest player to ever play for the San Francisco 49ers. My God, what a
Gosh, there's
history.
so many, right?
Many.
As Robbie Anderson was his name before he chose a new name.
Oh, my God. I didn't realize that.
I did not realize
I
that
thought you were
either.
referencing some undrafted free agent out of some obscure school.
Well, he was undrafted out of Temple.
There's so
but
many.
we know Robbie Anderson.
49ers.
Now he's Robbie Chosen.
Yeah.
There's so many good 49ers. This one is so hard. The correct answer is probably Dion.
Just 1 year.
I loved Ricky Waters. Ricky
the high
Waters.
step.
Ricky Waters was just such a fun dude to watch running the football.
He was. Yeah, he was very cool.
Jerry Rice is mine.
It's Joe Cool. Joe Montana. Come on, the 16 gets the ball. I mean, I hate to bring this up for all the Bengals fans out there, but gets the ball down in a Super Bowl and says, hey, is that John Candy in the stands in the final drive? And then they go win the Super Bowl? Come on, man. It's Joe. That's the answer. Joe Cool. He's the guy, but yeah, they've got a lot. It's an incredible history. It truly is. What is this team this year, Big?
So Reese mentioned it. Easiest schedule in the league. There's no way they can have all the injuries that they did last year. I think they are going to be healthier this year. I'm a believer in a bounce back from the 49ers this year. I think 10-7 for them.
Honestly, 12-5 if healthy.
Wow.
They
It's a
keep
big bounce back.
They keep everybody. Yeah.
I think it's a playoff team. I think it's a fringe NFC championship type team if healthy. That's a big if because they haven't been. But I just believe in Kyle that much. I believe in his process that much. And I think it's hard for me to imagine them not being in the mix if they're healthy. But it's a massive if. Franchise grade for the San Francisco 49ers, Big.
It's an A. I mean, for most of my life, this has been a team that really, really mattered in the NFL. It's an A.
Yeah, A for me.
I think the only thing that keeps it being an A+ is they put their stadium so far away from San Francisco now that that's kind of the only thing. Like when they were at Candlestick, right across the bay from San Francisco, and you'd kind of see all of that, like the fog roll in and all of it. Like they had this really cool, true home field advantage, and I think that's the only thing that keeps it being an A+. You're right. In our life, it is a model franchise. They've won 5 Super Bowls, and they've played for a bunch of other ones. Yeah, it's one of the good ones for sure. All right, in 2 minutes, we anticipate Ryan Day taking the podium. We will take that live when that happens. In addition to that, we'll have some thoughts on what Ross Bjork is having to say in terms of tradition evolved at Ohio State. We will get to all of that coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward, and I'm coming up on 2 full years since starting Awaken 180. Dropped 50 pounds, and I still check the scale like it owes me money. Guess what? Hasn't budged. Still under 200 pounds, still feeling great. Keeping weight off this long isn't luck or magic. It's just having the right playbook. Awaken 180 taught me exactly what works, what doesn't, and how to stay lean without the struggle. Want real, lasting results? Don't just drop the weight. Retire it for good. Trust me. Awaken 180 is your winning game plan. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Swimming in debt? Save your summer with a debt consolidation loan from BMI Federal Credit Union. With rates as low as 8.99% APR, now is the perfect time to consolidate your debt. Visit bmifcu.org/consolidate for more details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Ross Bjork addressing the assembled media with what is going to change on a game day atmosphere perspective at Ohio Stadium. In part, some of the statement here, they created a North Star to guide our game presentation from this point forward. So we'll get into that. Honor tradition. Don't think traditionally. We embrace innovation, technology, and bold thinking, and fans first. When we focus on fans, everything else falls into place. So one of the things that they're going to do is they're going to take the victory bell ringing, and instead of doing it after a win, they're going to do it before the game. So if I'm reading this correctly, and this is all kind of happening as we're doing the show, but my feeling on this is kind of like the crew match igniter thing is what they're going for. So the victory bell sound will happen before the game. It will welcome the team onto the field. So just before kickoff, the victory bell will now sound before the team storms onto the field in the celebration of the 50th anniversary of his second Heisman. Archie is going to serve as the first pregame victory bell ringer. So there you go. So there's that match igniter thing that they're going for. They have got, and I hope they've done, I don't know if they've done this or not, but if they're going to do that, then they have got to have the speaker system have been replaced. Because it should be so damn loud that it's deafening. That bell.
Ross did say during his availability that they will still have Alpha Phi Omega ringing it after the game. Mm-hmm. But this is going to be now something, to your point, of a match igniter, a victory bell ringer that they'll have for every Ohio State home game to signal it's time for the team to enter the field.
Okay, so that's critical. The music that they choose that follows that is going to be critical. They did Hell's Bells for a long time, and so does the actual victory bell lead into Hell's Bells, or what does that go to? But you got to wind them up, man. They've done a lot. They've covered the runway down there. They've turned it into a tunnel. The fog machines, all of that works. But all of that has to time up, and my hunch is it will. The second thing that they've added is the towel. So there's going to be the towel. So you want a consistent item to wave at games, show your pride and unwavering support. The towel is being created to do just that. Cultural legacy, 1878, the Ohio State. A lot of this is just PR stuff in terms of the name of it, but basically there's going to be towels now. So obviously think terrible towels in Pittsburgh. I'm guessing that you're going to get a towel every time you walk in. Be 100,000 towels there. You'll pick them up and you'll wave them. South Carolina does this currently in college football. I'm trying to think if anybody else does, but they definitely do it. A couple others, they're going to do color outs. We've done that before. Coordinated color outs help create a unified atmosphere. They look cool in the stands. They're better at night is just the reality of it. But they have 3 of them that they set out. So they're going to scarlet the shoe against Texas. I don't know if Ohio State will be in scarlet head to toe. I hope they don't do that for the Texas game. I hope we get heritage stripes for the Texas game. Is what I'm hopeful there. There's a helmet stripe game which will be on September. So that's the night game, September 13th. Is that Ohio?
That's the Bobcats, baby.
Okay, so you guys will be under the lights. That'll be a helmet stripe game, and then there is a wear black game. That's Penn State. So I hope we don't wear black against Penn State. But if you wear black, I just hope the team isn't in black. I don't need that. They've also done something with entrances inspired by the intensity of the Tennessee College Football Playoff. The Buckeyes will take the season with a reimagined team entrance that builds on the unforgettable moment. Each game will also feature unique and iconic entrance for Brutus Buckeye, changing week to week to bring surprises and energy to the fans. Anchored by the already legendary ramp entrance of the best damn band in the land, the new lead up to kickoff will be can't miss moment for Buckeye Nation. You got to land that. You've got to land it. That side of it. Some of the other stuff looks the same. Soundtrack for Ohio Stadium. This could be interesting. Sound is a memory. It shapes how we feel, what we remember, and how moments at Ohio Stadium are etched into our mind. This season created a soundtrack injecting songs that reflect the pride, grit, and heart of our state. Let's see. At the heart of this, a new game day anthem from Columbus's own Camp, CAAMP, whose song Ohio will play in the first half of each game set to the power visual. I don't know that song.
I don't know that band.
Song? I don't know that band either. We're old. Should we know that band? Do you know that band, Bake?
I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm listening to some of this right now. Hellwagon's asking him about bathrooms. Isn't that awesome that we're talking about bathrooms?
Right. Well, it's a problem. You got porta potties.
Look, I'm all
has got
for
so many jobs, man. He's got so many jobs.
I'm all for the game day atmosphere being improved, but when Ross, I think, was on with us right when he became Ohio State's athletic director, he had mentioned porta johns in Ohio Stadium and how that is not acceptable for a program of Ohio State's caliber, and I agree with him. And so I love the soundtrack of Ohio Stadium. Great. The towel, enhanced team entrance, Brutus having his own entrance. So I'm picturing like him coming out like Stone Cold Steve Austin for some games. The victory bell ringer. All of that's great. How are you fixing the bathrooms? Like the game day experience is paramount with bathrooms, concessions, your butt in a seat. Is it comfortable for that ass? Everything else is secondary, tertiary even. Also Wi-Fi.
Maybe we could have Brutus zip line down from the victory bell.
Like the Heartbreak Kid.
To the 50-yard line. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's just have safety first with Brutus. That's the last thing we need. We need all of it to be good.
Like just don't jump him out of an airplane.
No. We are also, obviously there will be, and this we've known, there's going to be a South and North Block O section. So there will be a North end zone Block O section as well for the students. I don't know this song. I'm very troubled that I don't know this song.
I'm disappointed that Reese doesn't know because we're seeing on the YouTube chat that they're from the Upper Arlington area.
Sure.
I feel like Reese should know this.
You're right. I probably should because also apparently they were huge in Athens, but this I guarantee you Camp was after my time.
Like the Black Keys have a song called Ohio that I know. But again, I'm old. And then initially when I thought about, because we had talked about years ago, remember we tried the thing, Reese, where we were trying to get all the small things. Michigan Sucks, I Know, like all of that is like a sing-along. And we did get it played. But, and this is something Ross is actually addressing here, they have so many other in-game presentation things that they do that there was no time to do like a sing-along. Everybody wants... like what Tennessee does. Everybody wants Calling on Baton Rouge and LSU. Everybody wants what Alabama does with Dixieland Delight or Don't Back Down at Florida. Like everybody wants all of those things, but they kind of have to come organically. And we tried doing that, but Ohio State has so many in-game presentations that it didn't really take off. For this song to hit, everyone's got to know the damn song.
And you got to start week one, and you got to let them know it's coming.
Yeah, and you got to know the song. Like I don't know that song. I was curious, like, would a 21 Pilots song work? Because they have a lot of hits. Like if you took Stressed Out or something and just had them kind of change it a little so that you need a song that everybody knows.
So I can't defend you two fossils, but in regards to my not knowing Camp, the students involved graduated from UA in 2012. Well, that's where I graduated from OU. In 2013, they began playing coffee shops around Athens while studying at OU. Well, I was long gone from Athens at that point. So I have an alibi.
They've been following you, though, Reese.
It would be pretty.
Come on.
I feel like you should
following
know.
me.
I really think you should.
Nope.
I don't think I should have known him.
I am absolved.
And I don't think Bake should have known him, but I think you should have known him. I mean, they were UA and Ohio.
Well,
come on.
This is a bad job out of Reese.
It's
I gotta
not.
be honest.
It's
here.
not.
Bad job out of Reese.
I accept no responsibility in this.
These are his people. Golden Bears and Bobcats.
I'm sure they're wonderful humans.
Listen, it'd be very easy to come up here and say, and just like, because everybody wants to say, everything sucks. They're trying. They're trying. They saw what they saw at Oregon last year. They saw what they saw in the college football playoff, and they're trying. What I would say to those two games, and this is the cold water on any momentum, is both of those games were night games. It's just different. It's different at night. And you don't get to play at night, not big games anyway, because of a television contract. So they're making the best of the situation. I'm going to want to hear this song. So when we go to break, I'm going to listen to this song and see if it stacks up and holds up and if it's got a sing-along vibe to it, because that's the critical thing, is that everyone's got to know the damn song. That's the thing that you got to have to get like the true sing-along moment. The other thing is, not only do all of people in that stadium have to know it, it has to be a familiar song to the audience, to people who aren't from Ohio. I mean, that's why everybody knows Dixieland Delight. Everybody knows Don't Back Down. Everybody knows what's the one Michigan does? The one where the chick cheats on him? What's the Michigan sing-along?
Yeah, I'm hearing it in my head, but I can't remember. Is it The Killers, Mr. Brightside?
No. Mr. Brightside. Yeah, like Michigan's song is a song, a guy witnessing his girlfriend cheat on him. But everybody knows the song.
Sounds appropriate, right? Cheating?
Very. Cheating.
Also, Ross has been going for over 30 minutes now.
Ross is walking away from the podium right now. He is leaving right now.
Wrap it up, Ross!
You had a good run. Ryan's like, man, we got a long practice.
Ryan's like,
man.
thank you. I appreciate you.
I do think, because I could hear it behind him, there were whistles going. So Ross just said, bleep it, I'm going to talk. You're not done with practice? No, I'm going now.
Go until we're done. I like the effort, how it works. And then the key to the sing-along thing is going to be that song. Does it hold up? So I'll listen to it in the break. We'll all listen to it in the break and give our opinions on if it holds up or not. But I like the effort. Now, I mean, those are things that are relatively easy things to fix. The bathroom thing, the monitor thing, the speaker system thing, those are big picture monetary capital things that need to get sorted out. But they're trying. So I applaud the fact that they are. We'll hit 3 things on a Tuesday up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ready. This Ohio State football training camp report is brought to you locally on The Fan by Weber Grills.
Ohio State football. Training camp report.
This report is brought to you statewide by Safe Flat Auto Glass and Bob's Discount Furniture. Some of the other newness that Ohio State will have going into 2025, new offensive coordinator Brian Hartline. Here's radio analyst Jim Lachey on that change.
They had to get a guy to step up, and, I think Brian's ready for this opportunity. Now he's going to have to, incorporate along in that running game, and I think that'll be something that he's got to do. Now, the question is he coach from the box? Is he coach in the field? Those things are going to get worked out. But calling plays, being on time, he got ability to work throughout the spring, having the headphones on and talking to the quarterback to get those plays called. It's going to be a little bit of adjustment for him, but I think, as Coach today said, he's risen. He's done great things in recruiting. He's done great things as coaching wide receivers. Had a little bit of a hand in, being the coordinator and coming up with some plays. Actually, the play we scored against Notre Dame when Jeremiah Smith was able to fake the reverse comeback, that was a Brian Hartline type design play. So he's had the ability to develop some schemes and some ideas. Now this year, the only difference is he'll be calling all the plays.
We'll have more right after this.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, flexible financing to fit your budget, and fast, friendly delivery. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
On the other side of the ball for the Buckeyes will be a new defensive coordinator. Here's analyst Jim Lachey talking about Matt Patricia.
I think he brought a lot of energy to this defense after Jim Knowles left for Penn State. You know, you'll see 3-man fronts out of him on occasion, 4-man fronts. He'll move it around, kind of keep it guessing. What he's going to do is he's going to find the weakness of that offense on that offensive line and, you know, try to put that defensive line in the best position and, you know, use a lot of different looks, bring blitzes from different angle, but they have to be sound. I think Coach Day said it best. You know, they've had a pretty good defense around here for a lot of years, so you don't want to go and change a whole lot. You want to incorporate some of the stuff that they've done, but I think he can add some new things to the mix that'll help that defense take advantage of some of these offenses out there.
This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We've had an incredible year, Buckeyes fans. It's time to celebrate the offseason with warmer weather, long nights, and incredible grilled food. Weber Grills has everything you need to have a winning summer. From our newest line of Spirit gas grills to our award-winning Searwood wood pellet and slate griddle grill, Weber Grills is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn more at Weber.com.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
You know, it's not the shoes. It's what you can put in them that makes all the difference. Hey, it's Anthony. I've been a customer at the Good Feet store for a while now, and I'm all about my personally fit arch supports. They support my feet better than all the insoles I've jammed into my shoes over the years. And my Good Feet arch supports help me in a ton of ways, from overall support and balance to stabilizing my heels, and the fact they distribute my body weight, especially when I'm golfing. I literally have spring in my step now. Check them out for yourself. The free fitting is designed to help them understand you, your pain, and your discomfort. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. You don't need an appointment, but you can certainly schedule one very easily online. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of, just like me. Get professionally fitted at goodfeet.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right. It sounds like Mumford & Sons to me.
Yeah, it's accurate. It's very folksy.
It's catchy. It's catchy. Really fast-paced. The song is from Camp. UA dudes done right. And it's called Ohio. And I think you'll learn it pretty quick. But it's got a cool vibe to it. You're just gonna have to learn the song and then just acknowledge that most of the folks in the country have never heard it, which is fine. But you know, that's going to be kind of the different feeling it's going to have versus those other sing-alongs that you see around college football. What do we have in the poll today, Reese?
The coaches' preseason top 25 has Texas at 1, followed by Ohio State at number 2. The AP is going to have their preseason poll out next Monday afternoon. I know, shame on them. The Daily Fan poll asks, will the AP poll also have the Longhorns 1 and the Buckeyes 2? 67% of respondents to the Daily Fan poll say yes. The AP poll will reflect the top 2 as the coaches' preseason. 32% say no. In fact, Ohio State's going to be 1. Texas will be at 2.
I could see it flopped. I think it could. I could see it flopped for sure. That would be an easy thing to see. All right, time for three things on a Tuesday.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
So, about an hour ago, I got a text from my wife. She says, "We're going out. We'll see you for dinner." And I went, "Oh, all right. I guess
What'd you do?
Where are we all going?" As it turns out, and she's, "Oh, we're going school shopping." And I said, "You are aware," and then she told me a couple of places she was going, and I'm like, "You are aware that back to school sales will start probably this weekend, and there actually were a bunch of sales over last weekend." And she's like, "No." So the reality is, she pay attention to none of that. This is who I married. It's in the brochure. It's been this way the whole time. But she is someone who is immune to sale. And when you take 3 boys out to go be immune to sale, that's a heavy hit on the back end for your Uncle Bo kids. So that's what I got to look forward to this afternoon, is a little bit of that. I might just go play golf to make it even.
That and Diamond Seller. Ouch.
Oh, dude, she's having a week.
Just auto pay on the credit card statement this month. Just be like, yep, that I accept all charges. If you're asking yourself, hey, I need something to do tonight, I don't have any plans. Now you do. 7:05 is the scheduled first pitch between the Columbus Clippers and the Gwinnett Stripers at Huntington Park. Mark the Shark will be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch in the Arena District. So get there early and cheer on Mark the Shark as he throws, obviously, a strike.
Can't wait to be there. It'll be my first Clippers game of the year. So.
Also, it's the Gwinnett Stripers. A couple of years ago, I called them the Gwinnett Strippers several times in updates. I was very embarrassed.
Also, the Gwinnett Braves forever.
Logo differences there would be dramatic.
We have documented on this show that this has been a rough year for me on the golf course. It has not been great. And there are times when I think, maybe I should probably give this game up. Mm-hmm. Maybe the life would just be easier. Well, we played a lot of golf yesterday, and I'm happy to say it was probably the most consistent that I've played in a long, long time. If it wasn't for my driver, I actually would have shot pretty well yesterday. So it's got me feeling good about the game, at least for right now, for the first time in a while.
Who did you play with, if you don't mind me asking?
So there was a whole group of like 14, but there was a threesome that I played with, and it was myself, Scotty Vegas, and Jeff Tito Thidoff.
Did you smoke Thidoff?
I mean, if I did not smoke Thidoff, I would definitely be quitting the game.
If you did not smoke Thidoff, you would no longer be on the show.
Yeah, I would not be playing.
I just can't live in a world where he has success.
Yeah,
I just can't. Number 2 for me. I saw this from Men's Health. One of the things that contributed to Luka Doncic's weight loss was pickleball. Yeah, pickleball contributed to the weight loss. I'm going to tell you something. If you play one-on-one, it's a lot of fun. Jarmo Kekalainen got addicted to it. I remember Jody talking about it, although he's more of a tennis guy. The ease of which that you can play a competitive game in that sport contributes very much to its incredible boom in popularity over the last 5 to 6 years. The funny thing was, we played it when I was a kid in elementary school. It's like one of the sports you played in, because you could play it in the gym, and I loved it then. It's an awesome sport. A lot of people want to throw stones at it. I get it, but it's so easy to play and be competitive relatively quickly that all of these things are happening for a reason. And for Luka to lose weight that way, good for him.
When you're down in the Arena District tonight, it's going to be busy. The Columbus Crew need to beat Leon to advance to the knockout stage in Leagues Cup. That game's at 7:30. Here's what you need to do, Columbus Crew. And they've probably already announced this, but I haven't been paying attention to who the match igniter for tonight would be. But after Mark the Shark throws a strike, put him in the black and gold and have him be the match igniter tonight at 7:30.
Shark Week hits the Arena.
Absolutely.
I love it.
If he had like a Pope mobile to driving from one venue to the next,
it would be awesome. Second thing for me, I realized that 36 holes of golf is a lot. The older you get, the harder that is. I will say, though, I feel like I was going strong at the end, playing pretty well. I think I could have got another 9 in yesterday, Bo.
Gosh, that's unbelievable. And you were worried about playing softball. You're lucky you have any discs left after all of that. We're up against it. No time for 3 today. Rothman and Ice coming up next. We are back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology.
See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees Wilson to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey friends, it's Austin Ward, and I'm coming up on 2 full years since starting Awaken 180. Dropped 50 pounds, and I still check the scale like it owes me money. Guess what? Hasn't budged. Still under 200 pounds, still feeling great. Keeping weight off this long isn't luck or magic, it's just having the right playbook. Awaken 180 taught me exactly what works, what doesn't, and how to stay lean without the struggle. Want real, lasting results? Don't just drop the weight, retire it for good. Trust me, Awaken 180 is your winning game plan. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without having to take your time? You thought to yourself, I'll just tough it out. But nothing changes. Hi, it's Tyvis Powell. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Walkoff and his team at QC Kinetics here in Columbus. I'm glad I did. Myself and others have turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies. No scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Check it out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Tire and Auto Service. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid